Yeah. Oh, my desktop audio was off. I'm so sorry. You didn't hear the applause, but it went off for me. That's when I knew I needed to switch screens. Yeah. Oh man, I forgot an important detail for today for myself. I need something with me. I need my reading glasses. That's right. We're gonna be reading today. Chat. This is kind of a reading stream, I guess. Because there we go. My iconic big round glasses that I totally wear in real life as well. No, I actually do wear glasses similar to this in real life. So you know what? I am accurate. But yeah, hi guys. Hello. Welcome. Today is Wednesday? No, today's Wednesday because I had singing lesson today. Today is Wednesday, September 25th, 2024. And today, chat, we are gonna get examining. We are going to find out the truth and create something stupid. Probably we're probably gonna do something. We're doing something really stupid today. Is what I'm trying to say. So today, chat. As you guys may have seen over the past couple months, it kind of calmed down over the past couple of weeks. But as you guys may know, a certain Mr. Beast has been in trouble because he is a sussy individual. And a document was released not too long ago. The title of this document is "How to Succeed in Mr. Beast Productions." And I read through this document when it first dropped. Funny enough, it kind of got like traction again a couple of weeks ago. But that was like the last drama I heard about Mr. Beast was like this document. This document's actually been released for like 2 months before that second wave of like, whoa, look at this document sort of thing. I found out about this document through Roseanne Panamoso. I forgot how you pronounce her name. I'm so sorry. But she's a baking YouTuber who actually was a participant on the Mr. Beast games. And as you guys may know, the Mr. Beast games is getting sued right now. It is getting sued. Pansino, is it Pansino? Yeah, Rosanna Pansino. I think that's how you pronounce her name. I used to actually watch her growing up. She used to make a lot of like nerdy baking videos, like cake videos. I actually really liked her videos growing up. But aside from that, yeah, it was kind of funny watching her like go through like little bits and pieces of the document. So I thought, why not we go through this document? Why not go through the How to Succeed in Mr. Beast Productions document, this 36-page long document. Go through every page, go through as much as we can, and see how we can apply it to VTubing. How could this document be applied to the VTubing industry? How similar is this document to the VTubing industry? How many things have I seen from this document and still end up in the VTubing industry? And how we can convert this into VTubers. Pretty much applying everything from the Mr. Beast success document to the VTuber industry stream. I thought it'd be a fun little review / discussion stream, and also poke fun at the industry itself, because I love poking fun at the industry that I work in, because you know, you just you just see so much, and then you see something that's like kind of adjacent to it. It's like, huh, I also saw that too, I guess, in my neck of the woods, you know? So yes, today, chat, we are going to be looking in depth into the Mr. Beast How to Success in Mr. Beast Productions document, and apply it to the VTuber industry. So if you're a VTuber yourself, get ready. You're gonna get the hot, most exclusive tips on how to be a really successful VTuber. These are the only tips you need to listen to. If anyone else tells you shouldn't be listening to them, they are Twitter freaks. They are not based, and they actually don't want you to succeed. So don't listen to people who say like, that's wrong advice, here's the real advice. No, they're totally wrong. They're totally wrong. You can only listen to me. You can only listen to me, okay? I get the best. I'm the world's best advisor. My son, he's 10. He is advice. He is advice. So I think I know what I'm talking about when it comes to advice. Just kidding. I'm actually a stupid woman, so don't listen to me. Yeah, that's gonna be today's stream. We're gonna be going in depth. I'm gonna try to reach all 36 pages, but a lot of this is also very incoherent speak. I was gonna say man speak, but I don't think it's just incoherent. A lot of this is very, very incoherent words. So get ready for that. Get ready for incoherent wording. Excuse me, son. Oh, I guess you don't know the reference I made. Oh well. Oh well. You don't know the media reference. You don't know the media reference I made, and that's fucking sad. You fucking zoomer. That's right. I just call everyone a zoomer who doesn't get my obscure media references, because that's what they are. They're wrong. They're incorrect. They're ignorant. They're ignorant. Alrighty. Okay, so before we begin for today, chat, before we begin, let's go ahead and say hello to everyone, because I do want to dive into this because it'll be a pretty long stream. Yeah, let's go ahead and say hi to everyone. Say hi. Let's say hello, hello, hello. So, two things before we begin, actually. I have two little announcements I want to make. Well, one announcement. First announcement being, if you guys, I don't know if you guys know about these, but these are my birthday t-shirts I've had for the past year. These are my 2023 birthday t-shirts. Every year, I like to release an exclusive t-shirt that commemorates my birthday. You have less than a couple of days to get it, because then I'm going to be retiring it and making way for the 2024 birthday t-shirt. So if you want to get this, it is actually $5 off right now. It's originally, so these t-shirts usually go for $25. I am doing $20 to get rid of the rest of all of the other stock that I have on here. So if you guys can, please check it out. $5 off. Yeah, last few days to get them. I don't really promote that, but it's fine, I guess. Yeah. Alrighty. $5 off. That's basically free. Oh my god, that's basically free. It is free. It's pretty much free 99. Go get it now. Go get it. Yeah. Go get it. Okay. What else did I want to say? There was one more thing I wanted to promote. Oh yeah, if you're going to Mag West this weekend, if you are an attendee of Mag West, I will be in there doing a meet and greet. That's right, I will be doing a meet and greet at Mag West at the 𝗕𝗁𝘁 Expo booth on the second floor in the promo lounge from 12 to 1 p.m. So please come and say hi to me, and I would love it if you guys can come by. And also check out all the information 𝗕𝗁𝘁 has for their new event, Off Season Live, taking place on a boat. Would you like to go cheer on VTubers on a boat? Go check out the 𝗕𝗁𝘁 Expo booth and learn how you can do that. Yeah. Okay, I think that's it. I think that's all I gotta shill. Yeah, that's all I have to shill. That's all I gotta shill. Okay, no more shilling. Now let's say hello to everyone. If you're on Twitch, please sure to use the hello and to redeem in the points chat or in the points redeem box. If you don't use it, I will probably miss you. And then if you're on YouTube, please sure to say hello, drop an emote, whatever it may be. Make yourself known so I can say hello to you via the participants chat. Yeah! So, without further ado, let's go ahead and say hello to our lookers and my watchers. Thank you so much, guys, for being here. No matter what you get to doing, working hard, playing hard, studying hard, or watching a VOD at a later time, I appreciate every single one of you guys here. And I hope you have a lovely, lovely day. Have the most loveliest of days, everyone, okay? It's Wednesday. We're halfway through the week. We can make it. We can make it through the week. Man, my birthday's coming up next week. Like, literally almost a week away. A week and day away. A week and day away from my birthday. Yeah. Alrighty, so on YouTube, or on Twitch, actually, sorry. On Twitch, let's go ahead and say hello to Mascara, Red Leon, Issei Super, Big Guy, Harquins, Casper, Mianovis, Yari Plus, Critical, Pastoring, Rex, Man, and Gemini. Welcome in, guys. Hi, Mom. How are you? And then on YouTube, we'll go say hello to Aqua, Argent, Compadre, Goodes, Lightning, Logcat, Purple X, Vangana, Weeble, and Zoofield. Welcome in, guys. Yeah, welcome in. Okay, chat. Okay, I think we're ready to go ahead and get started for today. Let me double check I have everything good, ready to go. Okay. Yeah, I think we're good. We're ready. Okay. I think I got everything ready to go. Let's go ahead, switch on over to our sharing screen and get started with this very, very silly stream. I don't know what we're gonna get into today. I've read the document once. I barely remember it because, again, it was all incoherent speak from like a madman who's really obsessed with numbers. Who's really obsessed with the green arrow. So let's see what kind of sound advice does the most incredible man, most successful man in the world, Mr. Beast, what does he have to share with us, and how can we apply it to VTubing, and can we learn anything from this document? Let us go in depth right now and see if we can. My name is Juan Carlos, and here's the green note. My name is Juan Carlos, and here is the green note. What happened to it? Okay, hold on. I may have to put this in another window. Yeah, I have to put it in another window. Give me a sec. I wanted to use Firefox, but then I remember Firefox is kind of fucking weird with OBS, so I gotta put it in another fucking browser. What the hell? Why is it doing that? Every time I press, like... Okay, I need to make a new window thing, I think. Yeah, I need to make a new window. See, this is... I tried testing this before, and it worked fine. But then it didn't work fine. There we go. I don't know why this happens sometimes. Okay. Super fucking weird. Okay, now let me crop all that. Yeah. Gotta crop. Okay, there we go. And we're going to get rid of that. There we go. Okay. Alrighty, chat. Let's get right into the news. Let's get right into the news. My name is Juan Carlos, and here is the green note. I can already tell this is gonna write it that Mr. Beast may be on top of you. Yeah, Mr. Beast may be on top, but he's not on top. He will never be on top. 大体 only noodles, I swear. Okay, so let's go through this. This is page 1. It's just the fucking title. I like how a lot. Okay, I want to make a comment real quick. I love how this is formatted. It's definitely from like the mind of a madman. How it's formatted. I don't know why. Like you could tell he only learned like the most he only paid attention to day 1 of like his computer class for this, because the formatting, I do gotta say, is kind of fucking atrocious. This is not how I would format a guide to help my employees. This is kind of cringe. Anyway, sorry, that was my office lady speak coming in for that. Time is money, Nyaru, and he likes money. That's gonna be the whole theme of today. Money! You want money! Yeah, money. Let's learn how to make money as a VTuber using how to succeed in Mr. Beast production. Okay. Hurry up to a good start. Hi! Hi, I'm Jimmy, Mr. Beast. And as the team is growing larger, I no longer get to spend as much time with everyone as I used to. Do you think he actually spent time with anyone? The first dozen employees have unfiltered and unlimited access to me to learn as much as they could about my vision of what I wanted. Sadly, you don't have that luxury. So I thought it would be useful to try to brain dump as much as I can into the silly little book to give new people to help bring them up to speed on everything we've learned over the past decade with this channel. I had no idea he was doing this for so long, by the way. I thought it was just like 2 years ago he started doing this. Okay. We've been through a lot, and chances are most of the problems you face we've dealt with. So I genuinely believe you already read and understand the knowledge here. You will be much better set up for success. So if you read this book and pass the quiz, I'll give you $1,000. All right, chat. I have a new fucking scheme. I already saw this scheme, but they already fucked it up. Okay, we're gonna create our own little quiz book. Okay, and whoever passes our brain dump autism bullshit, we'll give them $1,000. But they have to impress me first in order to gain access to the lesson 1. Ignore complaints. Lesson 2. They are liars. I know we're already out to a really great start by saying he's friendly. Listen, if with all my years in the industry, if someone has to say that they're friendly, they're probably not a friendly person. That's just after years of being in this place. Alrighty. Lesson 3 question, lesson 4 profit. But yeah, just in general, all my years in the industry, both in VTubing and outside of VTubing, if someone ever has to say that they're friendly, or they make themselves look out to be friendly, or they like overcompensate for their friendliness, that's usually not a good sign. I wouldn't say that's a complete red flag, but it is something to be wary of. It is very much something to be wary of. Sorry in advance for all the run-on sentences and grammar issues. I'm a YouTuber, not an author. That's actually really cringe for me. I don't know why. That's really cringe for me. That's really cringe. I don't know why I find that part really, really cringe. I'm friendly of the friendliest, even most friendly could ever be. That's like MCU humor. One of the biggest schizzos I ever met was super friendly to start with. So I guess he doesn't write his own scripts. No! I think we all knew this, so like everything he does was fake, even though he said it wasn't fake, it was totally fake. Not a writer, how many pages are it? 36 pages! He's not a writer, chat. Also, this formatting I'm sorry, this formatting is gonna fucking make me cry. Okay, first of all, you need to know, this is not a rule book. It's not a, chat, it's not, they're just little suggestions. They're just little suggestions, just like when a massive VTuber comes up to you and they're like, oh, I just want to give you nice advice, but don't take it as like me being take this as like the rule book, but you won't succeed if you, take my advice or anything. That's how it comes off. That's how it fucking comes off. I need to kick things off by saying the purpose of this is to not give you a bunch of rules to follow. On top of that, I want nothing in here to be taken literally. I don't remember cringing this much when I first read it. Like, I will say, there are some things in here that actually do make complete sense from what he's saying, but then he says bullshit like this, and I'm like, the lady, the white lady that's like looking around very confused, and she has like the math equations all over like her face or whatever, or they're like going across the screen. That's literally how I felt right now. What we do is complex and changes based on the situation. I need you to repeat this in your head 3 times. I will apply everything I read with a grain of salt. I will apply everything I read with a grain of salt. I will apply everything I read with a grain of salt. I will apply everything I read with a grain of salt. This is not an inclusive list of everything, but I hope it inspires you with questions and comes to us to learn more. I don't know about that, sis. I don't know. Okay. Prelude. I don't know what this means. I see again, when I read this, there was a lot of good points he makes. There's a lot of good points that we can apply. But then he says shit like this, and I'm like, what am I supposed to make of all this? What am I supposed to, imagine being an employee, okay? Imagine being an employee and you read that. I think I would just be confused. Is this humor Bankshead on non-existent? Not a writer adds a word he doesn't know. Well, he did say he wasn't a writer, so I guess it does make sense that he doesn't know what that means. It's so funny and number relatable. I thought he though, isn't he quirky? This doesn't come off as quirky. I don't know why. Maybe it's because, you know, I think it's because, like, you know, he's a millionaire, okay? We're just a common folk. Whatever his humor is, we probably find very cringe because, you know, we're from completely different worlds, completely different classes, and it comes off to the average person, to the average commoner, dare I say. It comes off as pretentious. That's what it is. And I'm saying he is pretentious. That's just how it comes off to the common folk like us. Because every time we see a millionaire try to be relatable and funny, we think of it as cringe because, like, they're never gonna be able to relate to someone like us in our struggles. That's my hot take. That's my hot take. Everyone's cringe. That's the hot take. I can make a separate book for creative, a separate book for production, a separate book for editors, etc. But I think that's dumb. Yes, dumb. Yeah, it's dumb. Everything we do here is interconnected, and the more you understand about what others are doing and trying to accomplish, the better set up for success you'll be. So this will be information about all parts of Mr. Beast Productions, and I advise everyone to read it in its entirety. A good example of this is James Warren. Wasn't he a sussy person? I don't remember. He understands every single part of this company and at a deep level, and as a result can make decisions faster than anyone else. The stuff you'll be reading about he knows is like the back of his hand. I've seen a team of 5 people work on a project for a full week just to give up, and James solves it in 30 minutes. I say this not to flex for him, but to show the power that comes when you understand everything in this book deeply. The more you know about why we do things and what we are trying to accomplish, the better off you'll be. So let's start with some basic stuff. That's like saying that, so for in VTuber terms, that's pretty much saying, like, this rule book isn't I can give you all the advice I want, but I just advise you to read it because we need everyone. We need everyone to be informed on every single part. It's like, for example, look at Iron Mouse. She's so successful. She passed Kai-Cent recently, and what she can do, what an average VTuber can do in one stream, she could do it in one moment. So I don't mean to flex for her, but you need to understand, like, what we're trying to accomplish, what you need to accomplish as a VTuber. So let's start with the basics. Not trying to flex on, but I'm flexing on him. Things that this thing has a strong "how do you do, fellow Homo sapiens" vibe. It comes off like, you know, Mark Zuckerberg. Feels like that. Feels like Mark Zuckerberg also wrote this. Okay, first of all, what is your goal here? What is your goal as a VTuber, chat? Your goal here is to make the best YouTube videos possible. That is your goal as a VTuber. It's not here to make friends. It's not here to have fun or to self-improve. No, you gotta get those numbers, chat. You gotta make the best streams, the best YouTube videos in the whole planet. And if you don't do that, you're not a VTuber. That's the #1 goal of this production. That's the #1 goal of VTubing. It's not to make the best produced videos, not to make the funniest videos, not to make the best looking videos, not the highest quality videos. It's to make the best YouTube videos possible. It's to make the best VTuber possible. Everything we want will come if we strive for that. Sounds obvious, but after 6 months in the weeds of a lot of people tend to forget what we're actually trying to achieve here. Pump it up, chat. Pump the numbers up. Yeah, you're not a real VTuber if you're not pumping the numbers and making the best VTuber. It's not about the best streams. It's not about the best videos. It's not about the best shorts. It's not about the best streaming moments. No, it's about you making the best VTuber ever. I see how traditional media does things. I don't care how traditional media. That means you shouldn't care how traditional. I think this is one of the sections I actually agreed with, because innovation really takes a lot of experimentation and like figuring out what can work. Yeah, gotta become the VTuber. Pardon the bluntness, but this is not Hollywood. I do not want to be Hollywood. I think that this is another good. This is the first section I actually agreed with. Because with VTubing, think about it, we're not Hollywood people. We are the average Joes of streaming, just like any other streamer that you see on the platform. Like, you shouldn't aim to be a Hollywood-esque type of, like, entertainment. That's never what streaming was about. That's never what VTubing was about. It's never how, like, a lot, like, YouTube in general was about. So at this part, I actually do gotta agree with. I gotta agree with this point. VTubers also should apply this. Wow, I can't believe I'm actually saying it. I can't believe I'm saying I agree with Mr. Beast. What planet am I on? And that sentence turns you off, then you probably are at the wrong job. I genuinely mean that. YouTube is the future, and I believe with every fiber in my body, it's going to keep growing year over year, and in 5 years, YouTube will be bigger than anyone has ever imagined. And I want the channel to be at the top. Okay, a little numbers focus, but again, he still has sound. I still would also apply this. This is very sound advice. Streaming is going to keep growing. Not alternative platforms, but platforms like Twitch. Well, I wouldn't say Twitch, but YouTube, fucking, dare I say TikTok, all those content creator platforms, whether it be making streams or doing videos, pre-recorded videos, pre-edited videos, it's all going to continue growing. It's all going to continue growing. And it's best you capitalize on that, Chad. It's best that you actually do capitalize on as many platforms you can be on. You don't have to do this. You don't have to do different things for different platforms, but at least convert like your stream into content that can work for each platform, if that makes sense. Yeah. It's crazy to think that in the time since he wrote this, he actually did achieve like making it at the top of YouTube. Yeah. Now that you think about it, it's actually it's kind of funny to look back on. On top of that, okay, hold on. YouTube is the future. Where were we? 99% of more movies or TV shows would flop on YouTube. That is true. That is very much true. A lot of Hollywood, I don't want to say theory, I say Hollywood equations, a lot of Hollywood media equations would fucking flop so hard on YouTube and on Twitch and on TikTok. That's what makes content creation so unique, because, you know, content creation can keep up with trends faster than Hollywood can. Where were we? I keep losing my place. On top of that, it'd be widely unprofitable, have no flexibility, and long lead times that can't adapt to trends. Say, I just said that. I literally just said that. We are here to make a small movie once or twice a year. I wanted to make one a week. Which is why you need to be nimble and produce content our way. Okay, okay. See, he says something smart, and then he's like, but then again, to kind of defend it as well, they have a branch to stick to. And that's also important when it comes to VTubing and streaming in general, is you keep consistent with your brand and you stay true to your brand and not just flip-flop all around to different themes, different content too often, or else like your audience is going to be confused about who you are as a person, like what your theme is, what kind of brand you have. So I mean, the way he said a lot is gonna come off as, wow, he said this like an asshole, but he has a point. He has a point. What's your brand? My brand is Variety Idol. I like to try out different things, and that definitely does reflect. So here's the thing: you can flip-flop between these, but you need to make flip-flopping part of your brand, if that makes sense. If you're someone like, for example, you constantly stream TF2 every single day, and all of a sudden you switch to doing something else, then it's gonna end up flopping. My brand is flopping. Don't say your brand is flopping. Mystery is talking to me as a Hollywood and ethos and motivation, but without the decades of built up of cuffed or sub-industries and corrupt unions. Flip-flops? I wear flip-flops. Shut up, guys! You're being silly. So I mean, he has a point. Again, he has a point. He just says it like a dumbass. I'm sorry. He says it like a dumbass. If you want the highest probability of success, I beg you to learn from what we do at a deeper level before you try to fix anything. We've done countless videos and invest. Okay, so hold on. Going back to that line, I think that also is very, very true. Like, a lot of people just need to do deep research to figure out why they are not succeeding, whether it be in streaming, in VTubing, or making videos as a VTuber, before they try to fix anything. So just understanding yourself is very, very helpful, and like what you're doing wrong. What are other people doing right now that you can probably implement into your streaming, and then you can go by fixing it. Just going straight to fixing it and not knowing what to fix or how to fix it is not going to fucking help you. So again, I gotta agree with that. We've done countless videos and invest hundreds and thousands of hours collectively building how we do things. I know it's not perfect, but we have a reason for how we do most stuff, and it's probably a decent one. And I think that can stand true for VTubing as well. If you have a certain way of doing it and it's successful, and it's something that you also find enjoyable, I mean, hey, more fucking power to you. Sorry, I have to drink some water. The amount of hours you work is irrelevant. Oh no. Before you get mad, recall the story about Jane solving a problem in 30 minutes and a team of 5 couldn't do in a week. In that example, does it really matter how many hours they worked? Obviously, we want grinders that put in the hours and love you guys a lot. Love you guys to death that do. But at the end of the day, you'll be judged on the results, not hours. We are a results-based company. Get shit done and move the goalposts. Okay, listen. He says it like an asshole again, but he makes sense. I do gotta agree. He makes sense here. He makes sense. Let me tell you why. The hard work ethic in VTubing, idol culture, whatever the fuck, just the hard work mentality, where it's like, if I put in this much time, this much effort, this many hours, I'm gonna be successful. When in reality, you know, you could put in that many, all those hours, all that hard work, and it's never gonna lead to success. So what matters is not that many hours that you put in, it's the results that come out of it. Like, if you go back and you think, yeah, work smarter, not harder. He wants players, guys, who hear our players show hands. Wait, I'm sorry, I could not understand it. ESL, please understand. But he makes sense here. I gotta agree with him again. Again, a lot of this is gonna come off as, he sounds like an asshole, and it's worded very weirdly, but it makes sense. Okay, I remember this part. This part was kind of for me. I only want A players, okay, chat? We only need A VTubers here. Not B VTubers, not C VTubers, not V VTubers. We need A VTubers. Okay. As I type this, I realize it may not be the wisest to categorize everyone into 3 buckets, but this is how I believe we should look at everyone a part of the production team. You're either an A player, B player, or C player. There is only room in this company for A players. A players are obsessive. Okay, this is where the grind set TM comes in. I'm not a fan of the grind set, I'll be real with you. Despite what it looks like, how many hours I stream, how many streams I do per week, and what I do behind the scenes, I also am someone who does not like grind culture, and I try not to apply this to myself. But I will say there's like 1 or 2 little parts I think in here that I remember that kind of makes sense. A players are obsessive, learn from mistakes, coachable, intelligent, don't make excuses, believe in YouTube, see the value of the company, and are the best in the goddamn world at their job. B players are new people that need to be trained into A players, and C players are just average employees. And again, I think this is kind of relate to how, like, I think, like, honestly, how VTubers can be categorized if you think about it. Because we have, like, you know, the top VTubers, like everyone in VTuber, everyone in Hololive. They're, like, the ones that have dedicated, like, their whole lives. Those would be considered, like, the A VTubers, okay? The B VTubers are the new ones that maybe need some time. And then the C ones are the burnouts like me, where I'm just average. I'm just kind of here, man. They don't suck, but they aren't exceptional at what they do. See? Like, I don't suck, but I'm also not exceptional at what I do. And I'm happy to admit that. So I am a C VTuber. They just do whatever and get a paycheck. I will say there are people that are kind of worse about this though. So I'm like at the top C. I'm at the top C part. They aren't obsessive and learning. C players are poisonous. It should be. This is okay. This is where I'm like, okay. C players are poisonous. It should be transitioned into a different company immediately. It's okay. It's okay. We give everyone severance. They'll be fine. It's okay that they suck. We'll just get severance and tell them to get the fuck out of here. I'm not a fan of that, but you know, it's more power to him. But I do want to say, there's definitely VTubers out there who continue doing VTubing even though it's very obvious that they don't like it, or that it's just like not something that they're passionate about, not something that like they, you know, not make a priority, but definitely expect results, but you know, they never put the work towards said results. And it's not, I don't want to frame it as like agree with them saying that they're poisonous, they should like, you know, stop VTubing, but they should definitely reconsider like why they are VTubing, if that makes sense. Like, why are you doing this? It's if you find VTubing to be a chore, why are you doing it? What's the main, why do you keep going forward with it? If it's such a drag, a chore, you look on Twitter every day and you're just like angry that there's so much drama, why do you keep doing it? You know? I think that's what I consider to be like really the C player of VTubers. Is the ones that are just like so tired of VTubing. Why do you keep doing it if you're so tired? Why do you keep doing it if you don't like the drama, if you don't like the quote unquote industry / community? You don't have to VTube at the end of the day. You can do anything. You can just be a regular streamer. You can just be a regular avatar streamer. You don't have to call yourself a VTuber. You can just exist on your own. But if it brings you so much pain, makes you so tired, why? Why? Time to reevaluate that. Again, I don't want to come off as me saying, you need to quit VTubing, because that's not what I'm trying to say. Just reevaluate why you do it. And if it really makes you tired, why do you keep doing it? If you hate the industry, if you hate the community, if you hate the people that are here, why? Why are you still around? Anyways, moving on. Because I can go on about that for so freaking long. You know, I think you're really great at what you do, and I've always enjoyed your streams. Thank you, Aqua. Whatever you do to a topic I am interested in, I catch a stream, I have a good time. Thank you. Some people are gluttons for punishment. I guess so, but that's not healthy either. Like they're the drug PSA because we learned it from you, okay? Okay, chapter 1. What makes a YouTube video viral? Let's see if we can actually learn something from this. Because again, this is a block of text. Mucho texto. This is mucho texto. Let's see if we can decipher this. This is where I kind of like, was like, okay, this is kind of like some rambling, but let's see if we can dissect anything we can learn. I spent basically 5 years of my life locked in a room studying virality on YouTube. Some days, me and some other nerds would spend 20 hours straight studying the most minor things. Like, is there a correlation between better lighting and the start of the video and less viewer drops off? There is. Having good lighting starts the video, haha. That is true, actually. Having a quality setup, whether it be in VTubing or just regular streamer, having good lighting, having a good color palette that is very easy on the eyes, appealing graphics, appealing transitions, that actually does affect like how long people stay and all that stuff. There's so I want to give an example of this. So right now my screen is very bright. I would probably not. This is probably very, very harsh on your eyes. But when I go to, because usually I use this scene for what do you call it? For showing off video games. So I really like documents. This is like one of those rare streams where I'm doing like a document review. But for example, let's go over here. Look how much more appealing this blue is. It's so easy on the eyes. It's not like, it's still like a very bright blue, but there's also darker colors to kind of complement everything. That catches people's eyes and it keeps the eyes more stick to the screen than you know, anything else. Consistent coloring, lighting, good graphics, it's very, very appealing to the eyes. So eye appeal, doing little things like that does actually correlate to a lot of people sticking around for a lot longer. So just wanted to talk about that. That's a good point that he makes. Analog horror YouTubers versus good lighting is an intentional loss. See, but the analog horror YouTubers, they go based off of story and atmosphere. You go to them specifically for the story and the atmosphere, not for the good graphics, not for like the lighting that the person uses in like the beginning of the video to like talk about, hi guys, today we're gonna be talking about this. No, you go for the atmosphere to feel creepy. You go there to like listen to a story and be immersed into the story with the analog horror YouTubers. True, Marble Hornets work for the story, not the 40p shaky camera. Exactly. Atmosphere is so important. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay, anyways, as a result of those probably 20,000 to 30,000 hours, which I doubt is actually how many he spent, of studying, I say I have a good grasp on what makes you... How long? Hold on. I kind of want to see that. Wait. How long is 20,000? 28,000 hours to days. That's 833 days. How many years is that? It's like 2? That's 2.2 years of his life. Okay, 30,000. It'd be 2.2 to 3.4 years of his life spent on studying. I doubt. Big doubt. I think I meant to say dollars. I don't think that's supposed to be dollars. Hours of studying, dollars of studying wouldn't make sense. I want to see them study log hours. I'm just kidding. I say I have a good grasp on what makes a YouTube video do well. The 3 metrics you guys need to care about. So this is for YouTube only. We're only gonna be talking about YouTube probably for these, but I can try my best to also convert like this information into Twitch and like streaming. But again, this is for YouTube. So bro spent half of his life with this book. 16 hours takes a breaks and holidays, 4K hours times the 5 years. Yeah, like, do you see the mathing? Okay, anyways. So these vectors are for YouTube, so just keep that in mind. Click-through rate, CTR, average viewer duration, AVR, and average view percentage. So click-through rate is the amount of people that are clicking on the video because of certain factors like the thumbnail, the title, etc. Average viewer duration, that's how long the viewer actually like watches said video for. So like, let's say they watch it for half, but then like it drops off. You know, at a certain part of the video or like halfway through. And an average viewer percentage, if I remember correctly, it's a percentage of viewers or it's a percentage of your subscribers that watch the video. So like that's why a lot of YouTubers say, oh, like only about 50% of people who watch my videos are subscribed. Please sure to subscribe, because that makes that number go a little bit down. So just a little bit of explanation for you guys if you don't know what that is. Anyways, make sure you know these abbreviations because that's how most people will refer to them. Up first, we'll talk about CTR. This is important no matter... Oh, hold on, I got a text. Oh, never mind. I just got a spam text. Fuck you. First, talk about CTR. It's important that no matter the department you work in, CTR is basically how many people see our thumbnails in the feed divided by how many clicks it is. So he just says it in a more mathematical term, but yeah, that's pretty much what it is. If 100 million people see our thumbnail and 10,000 click on it, that means 10% clicked and we have 10% CTR. So that's exactly how I explained it earlier. This is what dictates what we do for videos. I spent 50 hours in my front yard is lame if you wouldn't click it, but you would hypothetically click, I spent 50 hours in ketchup. Both are relatively similar in time and effort, but ketchup one is easily 100 times more viral. So yeah, clickbait thumbnails. You're just saying use clickbait thumbnails. And that does work, but it only works for so long, from what I've seen. Because eventually, you have to get more ridiculous and ridiculous and ridiculous until it just becomes complete garbage. Would I spend 50 hours in ketchup? Absolutely not. Ketchup smells nasty, like, after it sits out for a while. Why would I want to cover my body in that? Hello, Cookmas. Welcome. How you doing today? Okay, quick sip. Okay. Okay, where was I? Titles are equally important for... Oh, excuse me. Sorry. Thank you so much, cool for the follow. Welcome to the stage. Happy to have you here. An image of someone sitting in ketchup in a bathtub is exponentially more interesting than someone sitting in their front yard. I don't know. Both sound very uninteresting to me. But it depends on the demographic that you're also going for. Because you can't just put... Because, like, kids are going to want to click on that shit. The average adult over the age of 20 to 25, probably 25, are not going to want to click on something like, I spent 50 hours in ketchup. So that's another thing you gotta take in consideration is the target audience, because right now it sounds like he's just targeting towards kids without even saying it. Alright, so titles are important for getting someone to click. A simple way to up that CTR even more would be like, I survived instead of I spent. That would add more intrigue and make it feel more extreme. In general, the more extreme, the better. So the more clickbaity, the better. But you also gotta take your audience into account and the target audience you want to go into. And basically, the easiest clicks in the world are fucking kids. So by making these very ridiculous claims and statements on their titles and in their thumbnails, they get the biggest CTR because kids just don't fucking know better. They see something so ridiculous, they're like, wow, I've never seen anything like that before. Kids are very impressionable. You can also tell he's targeted kids by his hiring practices. So true. So true, Umphy. That would add more intrigue. I don't like bananas won't perform the same as bananas are the worst food on earth. Yeah, again, this is like kids would click on this shit. Now, if you're in production or creative, you might be wondering, what does the title and thumbnail matter to me? Expectation is why. The title and the thumbnail of the video you will be producing set the expectations for the viewer of your video. That is very true. That is very true. That is the reason why I don't like clickbait, because it sets an expectation and it can take advantage of people's expectations in exchange for them clicking on the video and not meeting said expectations. Okay, that's why I'm not a big fan of like clickbait, even though I use clickbait sometimes, but I use it more as like a poke fun at it type of thing. Okay, anyways. The talent thumbnail of the video you will be producing sets expectations for the viewer of your video. Imagine you click on the video title World's Largest Bouncy Castle in the thumbnail and a giant yellow bouncy castle besides a bunch of huge buildings. Then when the video plays, it's not a yellow bouncy castle, it's red. It also is not the world's largest. It's also in a field with no buildings like the thumbnail. You feel like you were lied to. Here's the thing, he's done thumbnails like that before, so I don't know what the fuck he's even talking about. This is why you must know the title and the thumbnails of the videos you are making. How can you know how to start your video if you don't even know what expectations viewers have of you? I think the ironic thing about that is that he's done this before. But you know, we're not here to like roast Mr. Beast about like his videos. We're here to roast this document, but whatever. Okay, we got a graphic here, chat. Oh shit, we got a graphic. Now let's jump over to the second metric that matters, AVD. This is how long the average people watch a given video. So we already explained this. The cool thing about YouTube is that they give us super detailed graphs for every video to show at the exact second we lose a viewer in every single video. That is true. This is the exact graph that I see for every single stream and video that I upload. It's actually very, very useful. If you do content creation, I highly recommend you look at this. It's so interesting. See that blue line in the image above that represents the attention span of the 60 million people that clicked on the video. It's crazy, but we can see exactly when the single person who clicked on this video clicks off, as well as almost every video on YouTube. The first minute has the most loss. Go look. Go look, chat. Yeah, people's attention spans nowadays, if you don't catch them in the first, like, I think it was like 10 to 20 seconds of a YouTube video, you basically lose out on them. So it's very, very important. It's very important that you grab them in that first 10, 20, 30 seconds. Otherwise, with this generation's short attention spans, good fucking luck. This is why we freak out so much about the first minute and go so above and beyond to make it the best we freaking can. On particular video, we lost 21 million viewers in the first minute of the video, which is surprisingly compared to the other channels is above average. I ain't gonna say anything, but it's just whatever. And it could be much worse. Let's say the start of the video wasn't well lit. It didn't match the expectations of the clickbait. So he admits to use clickbait. Oh my! I didn't pre-plan what I'd say, and we didn't front load some interesting stuff for the first minute of content. We would have lost much less than 21 million people because it wouldn't have even gotten 21 million views. But if the views were hypothetically fixed instead of still having 39 million views at the 1 minute mark, it would be more like 20 million viewers. The first minute of each video is the most important. Dissecting this jargon. He does make a point. This is the only thing I think that you should listen to. The first minute of each video is the most important minute of each video. That is actually really sound and good advice. And something that you can kind of apply that to also streaming as well. Like when you have an interesting starting student screen, it has people stay. When you have an interesting debut, it incentivizes people to stay. If you have an interesting personality, if you start very like energetic or like with a signature way, like it encourages people to stay because that's what they're getting to know you and like how you function. I don't know if that makes sense. X, I say you such a follow. Welcome to the stage. Happy to have you here. But it does make sense. Ignoring literally the rest of this fucking jargon, this line actually makes sense. Streaming distance and people can click in at any point. That is true. That is true. That's why you always got to keep up with like, you know, talking all the time. Sound advice I really give to most streamers is don't be silent during your stream. Don't be silent all the time while you stream. Talk about something. Come up with things to talk about. You don't need like to talk about like the video game per se. Like for example, if you go onto my TF2 stream, you hear me talking about the most randomest of crap. We talked about what fucking mini games would have, or that each class of 09 character would have, and that some of that shit made really good out of context clips because you would hear me say shit like Kyler would have a fucking frat party one where he would roofie everyone because haha funny, this is just like Kyler. You gotta keep it interesting. You gotta give them a reason to stay. Saying that kind of, having those random silly conversations really not only brings in viewers, but it encourages people to stay because it shows that you're active with your chat. You're actively, you know, paying attention, trying to start a conversation. And that's what people look for in streaming. Anyways, no, I'm not gonna go on too much about that. But I'm just saying, this is so important. It can be applied to both. Keeping people interested in general. After the first minute content, you'll have what we call minutes 1 through 3. This is where you have to transition from the hype to execution generally. Stop telling people what they will be watching and start showing them. An example at 1 through 3 minute tactic we would use is crazy progression. Let's say we have 10-minute video about a guy surviving weeks in the woods. Instead of making a first 3 minutes of the video about his first day, then progress from there like a logical filmmaker would. Wow, fish tank. that's a fish. They're taking a jab at fish tank right there. Alrighty, we tried to cover multiple days in the first 3 minutes of the video, so the viewer is now super invested into the story. That's actually really smart. I like that. We've seen this man survive multiple days in the woods, and emotionally now, we want to see how much further he can go. We also want to do something around 3 minute mark to call a 3 minute re-engagement. Our re-engagement can be described as content that is highly interested, that fits the story and makes people genuinely impressed. Another way to look at it is the segment that only Mr. Beast can do this. It's important to re-engage the viewer around this time because they could get bored of the story and click off. These re-engagements are usually spectacles and sometimes need a lot of time and money to perfect. A good example is re-engagements when Carl puts in the video of watching Josh in the $10,000 everyday you survive prison video. So I will say that's actually really, really sound advice. I like that. Keeping your audience engaged throughout the whole like video or the stream. Again, we just said this, like constantly keeping them engaged, giving them a reason to stay, making them emotionally invested. It's a little bit of like a psychology game in itself, but that's the name of the game, my dudes. That's the name of the game. 5 Following the first minute, then minutes 1 through 3, that is always what we call minute 3 through minute 6. Minute 3 through minute 6, and it's the next most important part of the video. This is where you plan out all the most exciting and interesting content that is also very simple. This includes lots of quick scene changes and highly stimulating, simple content that reflects the story. It's kind of hard to like do that on streaming, so but if you make YouTube videos, this can apply to you. The goal is to make them fall in love with the story, the people in the video, and the overall video itself. If we could get them to watch the first half of the video, there's very high a chance that they'll watch the end. Usually at the 6-minute mark, we will introduce another re-engagement. That is highly interesting but needs a little more explanation, and we'll push the story through the back half of the video. Some companies hire psychologists to learn how to best hook people. Yes, that is true. Not just for content creation, but just for, company pitches, like pitching a product, or, pitching like an idea, or, selling your company or something like that. This doesn't just apply to, making a YouTube video, but that can be applied to like so many other avenues of business and entertainment. Maybe not streaming because it's kind of hard to do with streams, but it makes sense. It makes sense. And lastly, we have what we call the back half content. I had to be careful writing this because I don't want you to ever for a second think I am okay with content being subpar. So-called free thinkers from Mr. Beast's thumbnail. Many videos have been killed because of the back half of the content was ass. LOL. But in general, once you have someone for 6 minutes, they are super invested in the story. Probably what I call a lull. Lull. I'll take it for the hydrate. I actually do need to hydrate. They are watching the video without even realizing they are watching a video. Typically, not as good content would be in the back half of the video. Don't ever signal the end of the video unless it's to build hype for the prize or payoff at the end of the video. This is also where long explanation bits can live, and if something unexpected happens or things don't go to plan, that can be turned into content. The above paragraph as why you'll hear us ask what minute mark in the video that you're working on is. Whether it is production, creative, or editing, you must always know what minute mark the content you are working on is. If you don't, then you're not doing it right. Thank you so much for the follow, 𝗬𝘆ście. I just whipped out a calculator, and the combined seconds of content in our last 100 videos is 81,801 seconds, which divided by 100 means the average Mr. Beast video is 818 seconds, or 13 minutes and 37 seconds. Some are shorter, like when we do a real-time shoot or something more emotional and don't want to drag it out. And some are longer, giant spectacles like giving away an island as an example. But 13 minutes is the average, and you are expected to know when producing which minute of that 13 minutes you are working on. And since we're on the topic of retention graphs, here's a very cool visual. I actually think this is, so this part right here, this is just Mr. Beast ramble. You don't need to fucking pay attention to that. But the rest of this makes sense. It makes sense in terms of content creation. All right, chat, we have some graphs. The shape of the audience retention graph can tell you which parts of the video are most and least interested to viewers. When the line charts flat, that means viewers are watching the part of your video from start to finish. Gradual decline means viewers are losing interest over time. All videos on YouTube generally taper off during the playback period. Spikes appear in the video when more viewers are watching, rewatching, or sharing those parts of your video. This means viewers are abandoning or skipping a specific part of your video. So that's actually very sound advice right there. That's very sound advice. It's all starting to sound like, well, it's a big section about like analytics. They're pretty much explaining analytics, and he's kind of is repeating himself at times. That's why I'm saying a lot of this we could technically skip, but I'm just gonna read through it anyways. The last of the three trackable metrics that matters to virality is AVP and TBH. This doesn't matter as much to you. Usually the length of the video will be decided by me or Tyler. I just need you to make people watch as long as possible. Another non-trackable thing about virality is I like you to know is what we call the wow factor, and it's definitely the most subjective. You can check all the above boxes for CTR and AVD, but the video is still doing F for us. An example of the wow factor would be our 100 days in a circle video. We offer someone $500,000 they could live in a circle in the field for 100 days. And instead of starting with his house in a circle that he would live in, we bring it onto a crane 30 seconds into the video. Why? Because who the fuck else on YouTube can do that? LMAO. I mean, that is kind of Mr. Beast's brand. That literally was talked about a little bit earlier. Things that only Mr. Beast can do. It's something that's Mr. Beast's brand. And as ridiculous as that sounds, and as I know he's targeting kids, it fucking works, man. It fucking works. Gotta bring that wow factor in. And that goes with all of entertainment. You have to have your wow factor. I agree with it. Where were we? Okay, the fact that we looked at a house onto a crane and didn't add anything to the title and thumbnail, it obviously hooked viewers and helped retention because there are millions of ways we could have done that easier. It's arguably, from a data standpoint, illogical and a waste of time, but its impression it leaves to the viewer is invaluable to us. It is true. Being able to show to your viewers that you can do this thing that no one else can do, it keeps them hooked. It keeps them coming back for more, man. And I compare it to GFE. It's like when you find that one GFE VTuber that like just tickles your little ASMR brain. You're like, damn, she just does it for me. I fucking love her. Same exact concept, just different medium. Anytime we do something that no other content creator can do that separates us from in their mind and makes our videos more special to them, it changes how they see us and it does make them watch more videos and engage more with the brand. You can't track the wow factor, but I can describe it. Anything no other YouTuber can do. And it's important that we never lose our wow. I gotta agree with that, man. I gotta fucking agree with that. Everyone needs their wow factor. You can do the most in-depth and interesting content, but if someone else is also doing that in-depth and interesting content, especially better than you, like you gotta start thinking what else can you do that makes it different from everyone else, you know? So that's chapter 1, chat. How do we feel about chapter 1? How do we feel about chapter 1? So far, this document is so true. We are fake and gay. A little bit of both. A little bit of both, actually. That was chapter 1. Chapter 1 was 10 pages, chat. Chapter 1 was 10 pages long. Okay, so chapter 2, creating content. Wow factor, yeah, my wow factor is being brown. That's it. That's all I got going for me. Congratulations. All right, chapter 2, creating content. Okay, so let's see. How can we apply to streaming, content creation, and VTubing? Let's do it. For this next part, I want to write about actually creating content. I'm not going to talk about any production systems in particular because the way we run this production changes almost every year. I just want to pass on things I see new people typically fail at, and in general, what I want. Our videos are hard, and if you took the difficulty of our videos and trend lined it over time, you see they're only getting harder. This is why I want the best in the world and the people who are obsessed. If you're not growing, eventually the difficulties of the video will outgrow you. That is true. I like that advice. Whether it be in production, creative, camera, or editing, I want you to be obsessed with YouTube. Get rid of Netflix and Hulu, watch tons of YouTube. I will without a doubt in my mind make you more successful. It will without a doubt make you more successful here. And I partly agree with that, but at the same time, like, you don't have to actively, like, you can just look at the trends of each video. If you really want to watch, like, what exactly they're doing, you're more than welcome to. But for example, what I do is like, okay, I subscribe to a whole bunch of VTubers on my YouTube feed. I'm gonna scroll through all of them for the past couple of days, all the stuff that they have uploaded, all the waiting rooms that they have uploaded, and see what the recent trends have been. What's everyone been playing? Like, for example, TCG Card Sim. That's the one everyone's been playing. Class of 09, everyone's been playing that one. So, I took that equation. I didn't actively have to watch the stream to understand what's trending. I just took a quick glance at my YouTube and was like, huh, okay, I'm gonna do this since there's some people doing it, but I'm gonna add my own twist to it. This is mostly specialized for being the biggest and best on YouTube. Obviously, since by 4th end, there are some nuggets there. There's actually a lot of sound advice in here. There's Mr. Beast ramblings every now and then where it's just like, okay, that's very Mr. Beasty. But if you actually take the time to read it and actually think about it and not kind of block your mind and think this is only for YouTube, you can apply a lot of stuff on here to streaming and VTubing. And if you can't see that, it's time to reflect why. Time to reflect why. I like a lot of the advice he's saying so far, but there's some stuff where it's just like, yeah, can you like shut the fuck up and like just get to the point? There's a lot of sound advice in here though. The more invested you are in our world of YouTube, the more you'll understand trends, which is true. The more you spend time on the things that you want to be successful in, I mean, the more you'll understand it. How can we stand out and be more original, what we could do better, etc. That mindset just works for any sort of, like, not even just content creation, just life in general. If you really like something, you really want to be invested in it, you gotta take the time to research about it. You gotta take the time to understand it. You know, maybe come up with your own unique ways of like loving it. Maybe improving on yourself. You should also really try to watch every Mr. Beast video on all channels. Sounds obvious, but I've asked multiple people this week when they see what they thought about last week's gaming video. Not a single person had seen it. See, that's example of Mr. Beast rambling. We don't have to pay attention to that. On top of learning from watching, so if I want a GF and I have to spend time with women, yeah, god dang, you have to spend time with women. Oh my goodness. On top of learning from watching YouTube, I'd love for you to read The Goal if you haven't already. I used to make everyone read it. I know bottlenecks are obvious, and it will sound like I'm talking to 10-year-olds sometimes, but just not knowing and understanding something as simple as bottlenecks has fucked tons of videos. You all should deeply understand the work stream from when a video hits the calendar to when it is filmed. I don't have the best track record of making a video filming calendar super far out and sticking with it. Let's say you're in production and the video you're assigned to is put 45 days out. A lot of things need to happen before you can start working on it. The big thing would probably be you need a thumbnail sketch and creative on your team to write the video. Do not just go to them and say, I need creative, let me know when it's done. I need a thumbnail, let me know when it's done. This is what most people do, and it's the only reason why we fail so much. I want you to look at them in the eyes and tell them that they are the bottleneck, and take it a step further and explain why they are the bottleneck, and show you both are on the same page. Tyler, you are my bottleneck. I have 45 days to make this video happen, and I cannot begin to work on it until I know what the content of the video is. I need you to confirm you understand this is important, and we need to set date. Oh, this is so important, by the way. This is so important. I really like this. I don't know if this is my toxic office environment talking, but truly telling someone like, hey, you're responsible for this. Maybe not the way he's doing it, but just telling someone like, hey, you're kind of responsible for this. I'm really relying on you to get this task done. Like, we can't move forward. We can't move forward without this task being done. So I'm relying. I wouldn't say it like this though. The way I think he's kind of coming off about it is a little more harsher, a little more, dare I say, toxic. But I'm a woman, I'm sensitive. But there is a point, and again, in all the rambling and all the junk that he's saying, there is a point that it doesn't even matter that like it's about content creation at this point. It's just sound life advice that like you have a job, you gotta do your job, man. Doesn't matter what your job is. It could be flipping burgers at McDonald's or working as a CEO of a company. People are relying on you at the end of the day. And if you don't like that sort of environment, maybe that environment is not for you. Daily stands, what did you get done yesterday? What do you plan on doing? And do you have any blockers? I love daily stand-ups. Daily stand-ups are like my favorite thing in the whole world. I wish I could do more of them. S-Pro, my former agency, we used to do monthly stand-ups just because of like everyone lived in such different time zones. But we would do monthly stand-ups and we would tell everyone like what we're doing, what we did this month, what we're going to be doing next month, and do we have any blockers or do we need any help and all that sort of stuff. It was super, super nice. But anyways, now this person who is also has a ton of shit going on is aware of how important this discussion is and you guys can prior it accordingly. I think just better communication being like, hey, I'm really relying on you. Like, let's figure out a way to... I don't like the way he's saying. I think the way he's saying is kind of stupid, but I think there's better ways of going about, you know, something similar to this. It's not Mr. Beast-esque. Now let's say Tyler and you agree it'd be done in 5 days. You don't get to set a reminder for 5 days and not talk to him for 5 days. Every single day you must check in on Tyler and make sure he is still on track for his target date. I like that. I agree with that. I'm on Let's Excuses in the company. Take ownership and don't give your project a chance to fail. Dumping your bottleneck on someone and then just walking away until it's done is lazy and it gives room for error. And I want you to have some mindset that God himself couldn't stop you from making the video on time. Check in daily, leaving no room for effort. Again, I hate the way he says all this. I fucking hate it, but he has a point to it. He has a fucking point to it. I think some companies literally have short daily stand-up meetings like this. Yes, they do. A lot of tech companies, a lot of startup companies have daily stand-ups like this. I love being in that type of environment. I wish my work looked like that, but we don't do that much stand-up, mostly because we're on different time zones. And by the time they're doing their stand-up, I'm in bed already, okay? I'm in fucking bed. They're waking up, getting ready for the day, so I can't participate in that. And even then, a lot of the stuff that they do talk about is very irrelevant to the position that I'm in. So they only do stand-ups with me every so often, just to, like, kind of check in with me and see how I'm doing with all my tasks. Like right now, I'm editing a video for them. I think I'm going to be getting a stand-up request very, very soon about that. So I'm preparing myself to tell them what I've been doing. I already have like a quarter of the video done, so that's already a good sign for me. But you know. Okay, anyways, for the next part, I just want to brain dump about some random things and explain why we do and say certain things. If you understand all this, then you'd be good. You'd be in a good spot. Like seriously, they're cheat codes if you should take them to heart. I don't like it when people say they're cheat codes because that usually it means something else. Video everything. Maybe if you're a YouTuber, but let's see. I really want us to see producing as a team job, not a solo thing, which is why it's important you video everything critical and also anything you think people would ask about. Let's say you go to scout a set for a video in a month, which while the rest of the team is working on this week's video. Most people just go to scout the set, maybe grab a photo, walk around, try to grab a good mental model for it. Then a week later you're back. The video is now Tyler's main focus and he is starting to ask questions about the set and you can't quite recall. The question gets more and more detailed and all you have to go off is what's in your mind. The rest of your production team also needs to start planning bits and they don't know what it looks like and it's a shit show. This is what we say video everything, which is more important than one person, and that one person has a good mental grip of something on their entire team of 10 people and have a good mental grip on something. Okay, I don't know what the fuck he's saying. Again, there's a lot of Mr. Beast ramblings here. I'm trying to translate this for you guys. Obviously, the team and the easiest way to bring your team up to the same page is to freaking video everything and store it where they can consistently reference it. A lot of problems can be solved with just video sets and asking for videos when ordering things, especially because I personally am visual guy and I always see what things look like. So even for me, videos are valuable. Video everything. Okay, so I think what he's trying to say is like just document things more than usual, which I think can be sound advice if you want to think about it. Documenting is super important. I document all of my streaming ideas because I know I'm not going to remember what I say I'm going to be streaming about like next week, you know? If the video is content, then it increases available content. Exactly. But just, I think just in general, what he's trying to say is just document everything detailed. And I think that's sound advice. That is sound advice. You don't have to document literally every single moment, every single day. But if you think this will be important for later, and even if it doesn't end up being important for later, you at least have it written down, because you'll save your ass one way or another by writing it down. Okay. Oh my god, I'm running out of water. I'm only on page fucking 12. Okay. Next section. Say the negatives! Chat, say it with me. I feel it is okay to call other people like you are my bottlenecks, but that's probably because engineering language and bottlenecks basically dictates whether the minimum effort or time to process could have. But chat, say the negatives! The negatives. Title says it all. Don't just tell people on your team or me why something is good. It's infinitely more valuable to tell us why it's not good. I found a castle we need for the video, but it's booked all year, over budget, and someone died in it last week. So I don't know what the fuck he's trying to say in this, I'll be real with you. Like, is he just trying to say you need to pitch me why it's a good and a bad idea? I just want a few points I can't translate, so it's whatever. It's your fault. Track the contractor. I know I already talked about this, but if there's one thing I really love to impose on you for all this writing, is that you can't just dump and forget your projects. Which is true. You just can't do that. I can't stand when people dump and forget their projects on a contractor and then the day before the shoot blame them when it's not ready. That's on you, not the contractor. Let's say we are building the world's largest water balloon and you need someone to make a giant wooden stand for it to sit on. Most people here would just call someone like JB and have him do it and tell him to be done by filming day. Instead, you should really have it done at a certain time frame in advance. That's sound advice. I like that. You need to use your own intelligence based on the project to determine that in case something is off, we can make changes. And you need to then decide whether or not it's critically component. If it is, you should also begin to work on a backup. And while working on a backup, you should check in with JB every single day. Ask him to send videos every day to spot problems early. Hell, maybe even talk to him twice a day. I don't care. Just don't leave room for error. No excuses. Stop leaving room for error. Check in daily, receive videos, and know weeks in advance if you're fucked, not days. So what he's trying, translating this into sound advice. This makes sense. All he's basically trying to say is plan your shit out in advance and prepare for it days in advance instead of hours or a day in advance. You know? Especially if it's, for example, let's take debuts for example. If you're gonna be debuting as a VTuber, you're gonna want to practice that debut again and again and again, and make sure you have all your graphics ready to go for those practices again and again and again. So that way you can see, okay, this part's a little too, silent, or maybe there's too much information here. I should cut down. I should add something here. Maybe this section isn't working out. I'm going to take out that part of my debut. Oh, I have another idea I can implement into it real quick. That way, you are prepared for your debut instead of just slapping the slides together the day before and then calling it a day. So just literally, he didn't need to say all this, but all he's saying is just prepare in advance. Don't prepare days or hours before. I am not always right. Boy, you aren't, Jimmy. Boy, you aren't. I like to this man is answering his own questions as he writes them. Yeah, that's what it is. That's what it is, right? He's answering his own questions. He's answering his own questions. Again, he did say earlier that's like, oh, like, I'm just writing things down. It's all word. Don't take anything serious. But he kind of wants to. But throughout this, it's like he's wanting you to take it serious. So I don't know. Silly is silly, Mr. Beast. Tricks are for kids. Yeah, his videos are for kids. Okay. Anyways, let me go back here. Let's go back here. Okay, I am not always right. Shocker, I know. I'm young and I'll be the first to admit I'm not perfect. All right. I promise not a single person on this planet wants us to succeed more than I do, and no matter how much work you'll never invest more time into this company than I will. But I can promise I'll always be right. Having said that, there are ways we can help me be right more often. Yeah, help me. Okay, I think this is like where it's a little bit of a narcissism cousin. Having said that, there are ways you can help me be right more often. Yeah. Okay, I don't know if I'm gonna skip through this, but let's see. Let's see what he has to say. Oh man. Okay. For starters, you need to understand that the world I'm in and how my mind works. Okay, yeah, this is definitely gonna be a narcissism. This is gonna be a narcissism paragraph, so more Mr. Beast ramblings. I don't think we actually have to pay attention to this. This book in particular is for understanding the world I'm in and how my mind. Oh, this book in particular is for our production company, which by the way is the most important company and allows everything else to succeed. Without the videos, everything else dies. But it's not all I have going on. I have to be the main talent for every gaming video, every React video, every philanthropy video, every TikTok, every Insta post, and every main channel video, which is basically 3 full-time jobs all by myself. Little things like sending videos to people for birthdays, attending events, networking, and add all up because I'm the face of the channel. On top of being the main talent, I have to work with each channel to make sure the creators are always evolving and not getting stale in general, to be a visionary for them. Basically running 4 channels at a high level better than anyone else in the world can run one. We also have a Beast Burger and Feastables, and I still have to see a vision and be led and creative. On top of that, we dub our channels in other languages, and we run translation companies that work with other channels as well. Thank you so much, Emmy Slime. Thank you. Where was I? Okay. Also, multiple times a week, I have to call other YouTubers, see what they are testing and doing, so I can always stay up to date and make sure we aren't missing anything. AKA, you need me networking a lot. What I'm trying to say is I have run 4 different channels, 3 businesses, a charity, a network / maintain our image, all at the same time. So when you need something from me, you have to understand that I'm probably not as knowledgeable about the video as you. Whether you don't tell me, I don't know. When getting an answer from me is ideal, you do your research and come to me with the context and options. Instead of saying, I'm coming up with a video, we're giving away a car, what do you think of this Lexus? It's only $10,000, which is how 90% of questions are asked towards me. Do this instead. Okay, this is autism speak. This is autism speak. This is a narcissism. This is like, cause like I understand what he's saying now. It's like, I am a busy woman. I'm trying to help you make sure that we're being efficient. And I have autism. So please, if you help me, you can help me help you by answering or asking questions a certain way, so that way, you know, we can both understand what's going on. The 3-second employee handbook. So that's the whole joke of this. Is that it's supposed to be it's a handbook, it's a rule book, even though he said it isn't one. Anyways, sorry, I lost my place. We have a coming up would you rather video. One of the bits has 6 to 9 minute mark, and we'll be giving away a car. One of the bits at the 6 to 9 minute mark will be giving away a car. We're still on budget, and the budget of this car is $10,000. I checked with PM. It could go up to another $5K if you really wanted. I searched all of the NC for cool ass cars around that price point, and here are the 5 that I got pre-approved by Creative, all on a budget. I also got 5 other backup options that are less cool looking and more AVG if you're going for that. Here's a picture of all 10 cars, the miles on the car, and the information you want. Which of these cars do you think it best? I like this. No, I understand what they're trying to say. No, I get he's saying this in a Mr. Beast way, a fucking like cringe ass way. But I get what he's saying. It's like for example, if you want to collab with a VTuber, don't just go up to a VTuber and be like, "Hi, I want to collab with you. Can we collab?" Okay, but what are we gonna collab on? what are we going to do in this collab? What dates do you have proposed for this? What do you plan on doing this on my channel or on your channel? Do I need to prepare anything for you? Is there any information you need from me? Do you like, there's a lot of questions that are missing from you proposing something like that. Now, if someone were to come, I'm actually less inclined to, reply back and, accept that collab offer. Now, if someone comes up to me differently, they're a VTuber who wants to collab with me, and they'd be like, "Hi, Nyaru, I'm this person." They include like their agency if they're part of an agency too, and I am doing a Among Us collab with all these other VTubers who have confirmed with me so far. We plan on doing this collab on, I don't know, fucking October 19th at 3 p.m. PT. That's a Saturday. We need everyone to be prepared for about an hour before for sound check and to come up and, make sure that everything is working. With this, would you want to join us on this? I would be more inclined to say yes to something like that than for someone coming up to me and saying, "Let's collab." So that's exactly what he's trying to say here. Again, it's sound advice, but he says it in such a Mr. Beast way that it gets lost in translation and people get upset. Okay, anyways. If you want to look like you're doing your job and don't care about the success of the video, ask me questions like the first example. If you want to take accountability and make your own videos happen with higher probability of success, do the second option. This doesn't apply to me, it applies to anyone higher up you expect to make a decision. I think that's such sound advice. I think that's my favorite piece of advice. Come with the plan. That's pretty much what it's trying to say. Do people need to pass a vibe check for a collab? My vibe check is that they have a plan. That's my vibe check. Because I can tell they're serious about wanting to collab with me versus someone coming up to me and being like, "Hi, can we collab? Can we play video game?" Okay, when do you want to play video game? We're gonna do it on my channel. We're gonna multi-stream it. Do we have do you know what exactly we're gonna be doing in said game? Are we gonna be doing certain levels? Are we gonna be playing with our audience? Are we gonna be doing? Are we gonna be using any outside technologies like VTuber or the VNet collab DLC, or both our models are gonna be moving? Are we gonna be using PNGs? Like what's gonna be going on? You gotta give me more than, "Hey, I want to collab with you. Hey, I want to do X with you." But he says it in such a weird way, and it gets lost in, dare I say, lost in translation. Have an outline ready, solid advice. That's pretty much what it is. Have a plan. Have an outline. People are more likely to say yes to you and to accept it. So yeah. That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah, don't you have viewers join you on multiplayer all the time? Yes, I do. But that's for just solo my streams. Now, if I come up, like for example with Siri, when Siri from VNU, when we first started doing our TF2 collabs, I let her know like, "Hey, when I do TF2 collabs with other people, or what I envision, what I want, usually I want the viewers and the collaborator and me to all play together in one server. If you're not comfortable with this, I'm more than happy to play on a private server for you, but this is how we kind of do it, and if you're comfortable with that, we can go forward with it. If not, let's talk it out and figure out what kind of alternatives that we have for it." Because not everyone wants to play with their viewers. Not everyone is comfortable, doing that sort of content or being like too close to their viewers like that. And I want to respect that. So by letting them know if they want to do a TF2 stream with me, they're going to be playing with other viewers. And if they're not okay with that, we can find out alternative ways. So it's all about planning. It's all about planning. Just plan, chat. Planning is key. Okay, we're almost halfway through. We're almost halfway through with this. Okay, critical components. Critical components. Let me take a sip. Okay, I gotta grab more water soon. Shit. Okay, critical components. This is officially longer than in the Harry Potter books. No? Have you actually read a Harry Potter book? I rather read this than a Harry Potter book. I'll be real with you. Critical components are the things that are essential to your video. If I want to put 100 people on the island and give it away to one of them, then securing an island is a critical component. It doesn't matter how well planned the challenges on the island are, how good the weather is, etc. Without that island, there is no video. Hence, it is a critical component. Another example of a critical component would be the title and thumbnail. Remember that bouncy castle story from earlier? How the thumbnail had a yellow bouncy castle, but the video had a red one? The thumbnail of the video you're producing can also create critical components. A third example of a critical component would be the creative on your team pitching me a video of 10 challenges, and I said, I like that video, but mostly because of challenge 3 and 7. I hate the video without them. Challenge 3 to 7 are now essential in your video, and thus critical components. Critical components can come from literally anywhere, and once something you're working on is labeled as such, you're treating it like a baby. Without what you're working on, we do not have a video. Protect it at all costs. Check on it 10 times a day. Obsess over it. Make a backup. If it requires shipping, pay someone to pick it up and drive it. I don't trust standard shipping. And speaking of the second anything goes wrong, the literal second, never coin flip a critical component. That means you're coin flipping a video, aka $1 million+. And always bring me or Jane's earlier. Always bring in me or Jane's earlier rather than later. I completely forgot about the bouncy castle. Oh no! You're not a valuable Mr. Beast employee! Anything Mr. Beast says becomes your critical point. That's pretty much what that kind of translates to. But I mean, he has a point to it as well, if you think about it. Like, what's gonna be the most critical part of your stream? What's gonna be the most critical part of your VTuber day? What's gonna be the most critical part of your brand? And you gotta do have to like obsess over it. Make sure everything is good for it. Because otherwise, if something fails, like you yourself aren't gonna be able to come through as the way you want it to. Again, it's such a Mr. Beast talk sort of way, so it's hard to understand. Okay, let's see. Communication lines. It is very important as a company that we maintain proper communication lines. On set and offset, there is always someone responsible for everything on the video, and if multiple people are responsible for the same thing, then that's a problem we need to be fixed immediately. Ideally, when communicating across departments, you go up, then over. If you skip and just go below, you prize must then... What? I kind of wanted, did you expect to read this and say, damn, he's such a base person element, but now you're just like, damn, he's kind of base. Well, I already read this once. I already said in the beginning, like, there is stuff in here that I do agree with, but it's said in such a horrible way that a lot of people dismissed it. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Okay, where was I? Okay, yeah, this sentence, this is the grammar part. This grammar, ESL, please understand. Is give on just go below you prize and must then call, let people in charge know. Let's say you're a production coordinator and you call a writer to tell him you need some bits about a sandwich being cooked with lava. Seems harmless. Except now Tyler, head of creative, has no idea what his writer is working on, and worse, doesn't know that an option when he directs. Doesn't know that's an option when he directs the video. Will, head of production, also has no idea that sorry, I can't fucking read. Will, head of production, also has no idea that. No idea this has been set into motion, and will sorry, my dyslexia is really acting up. Holy fuck. And when planning and tracking the progress of the video, doesn't know to account for this. Will later finds out about it, and as soon as Tyler approves the bit and starts planning on how to make a lava, and then wastes 3 days making lava until Tyler catches wind, and then Tyler asks her why she is making lava, and she has no idea, and everyone is confused. I'm so confused by this fucking wording. Holy fuck. This is what happens when you don't follow proper communication lines. If when this bit was requested, Tyler and Ali were called first, Days of Bullshit would have been said. Seems simple, but it happens dozens of times a week and causes tons of double and triple work. Just communicate. I think that's what he wants to say. Now, different companies, there's different ways to communicate. depending on the company that you work for. I guess that's how it works for him. But again, it's explained in a Mr. Beast way. Okay, we're officially halfway through, I think. Oh no, we're under halfway through. We're under halfway through. I don't think so creativity saves money. Creativity saves money, chat. Let's read this. I don't think it comes as a surprise when I say we don't have unlimited money here. We can't have every video constantly going over budget because the money has to come from somewhere. But you're in a tough spot because I constantly want better and better videos. A lot of people who work here have definitely thought before, if Jimmy wants us to be on budget, why does he keep asking us to do so many expensive things? Or, I know Jimmy won't like this, so I need to spend more money. People always assume money is the answer, and if we spend more money, we can give Jimmy what he wants. More Mr. Beast jargon. More Mr. Beast jargon. This argument makes him seem like a real hard, but he makes valid points. It's just he words it so fucking poorly. Words it so poorly. This is why companies hire people to proofread and write things out in a more friendly like that's a whole job that people do. They literally get documents like this from like CEOs and like their expectations for their employees, and they fluff it up and they make it sound nicer. That way they don't get in trouble or in any controversy for being the quote-unquote hard ass. And that was his mistake. That was his mistake. He didn't hire someone to like properly write this out for him. Okay, which is wrong. Creativity is the answer. Here's an example I use all the time with our gaming team. I'd love to give away money every video, but what sounds cooler to you as a prize for a gaming video? $2,000 or a year's supply of Doritos. Okay, chat. Imagine you're a 6-year-old. What sounds cooler to you? Be honest with me. You're 6 years old again. What sounds cooler? $20,000 or a year's supply of Doritos? I'll keep reading while while you answer that. To me, Doritos is much funnier because I think our audience would find it fucking hilarious. No, he stole my signature phrase. Fucking hilarious. He stole my saying. How dare he? I'm copywriting Mr. I'm making my legal document right now. Hilarious and original. Hi, Ozona. How are you? Welcome in. Of course, Doritos is appealing to you. So Doritos, $20,000. It can buy. Yeah, the $20,000 could buy many Doritos. Okay. It would have been the money because all I cared about was gaming as a kid, and cash equal gains. Unironically, this is why he tried to fluffy it up, but it doesn't. But it's done in YouTube slop language, and that makes it cringe. Exactly. Reed, thanks so much for the follow. Welcome to the stage. Happy to have you here, friend. Replace it with Funyuns, and it's a deal. I hate Funyuns, actually. I do not like Funyuns. My parents love Funyuns, but they smell nasty to me. I cannot stand Funyuns. I'm sorry. That's my hot take for today. So let's say we define a year's supply of Doritos as supply of Doritos by 5 packs of Doritos a day for 365 days. That's 1,825 packs of Doritos, and a quick Google search shows you can buy a pack of Doritos for less than $1, but we can round up and say $1 per pack of Doritos. Our prize of the video would just went from $20,000 to $1,825 because we didn't just throw money at the problem and we used creativity. This applies to everything in every single video you do, whether it be finding a crane for a video, deciding pricing, picking location, finding critical components, or doing the most minuscule thing. Use creativity to save money, because every dollar we'll save allows me to give you guys more stability and hire more people to make your life easier. If you want to succeed here, say it 10 times in your head. Creativity saves money. So, in the end, he has a point to this, because I do this actually. I do this. I get a little bit creative. So I think I've talked about this before, but you want to know something fun? You want to know something funny and hilarious? All of my assets that I use are either free assets or pre-made assets, or just very cheap things that people can use. So again, I'm gonna go back to this scene. This whole this whole like chatting screen, free assets. Maybe a couple of them were bought, but all of it is free or cheap or pre-made assets. And he has a point by saying creativity saves money, because the average VTuber will spend about like $1,000 to $5,000 on assets. That includes background, BGM music, little assets, like moving animated stuff, alerts, shit like that. And I have spent probably less than $500. Yeah, I would say less than $500 on all the assets I use. There's also some in here that I've created myself. Just by doing a little bit of research and getting a little bit creative with the placements of everything to make it uniquely my own. That's how I do it. And that's how I always recommend every VTuber does it. You don't have to have the nice fancy graphics. They're nice when you can afford them. But when you're starting out, creativity really does save money. Learning those skill sets to like make your own art, make your own graphics. Doing a little bit of research in different languages to see what kind of assets are out there and which ones work best with your brand. Saves your ass so much, chat. And I've done this since day one. I've done this since day one of me being a streamer. I always use assets. Always. Where do you usually get your assets from usually? I use a site called VTem, and then another site called Okumono, and then another site called AO Material. All of them are in Japanese. One of them is the paid subscription one. And that's the one I actually get most of my background assets for. But those are my top 3 that I use. Usaneko Memory also makes a lot of really good assets. Highly recommend. I think there's one more website. I can't remember off the top of my head, but they do have like pre-made VTuber assets on it. I'll get a list of all of them later. Suntubers even use Canva to make logos. Yes, I actually use Canva to make logos. I actually paid for my logos, but in the past to make like spoof logos, I've used Canva. Some of the coolest assets have been headless VTuber models, and they do a haunt and their heads haunt and adds practically a whole new model for less than $100. Hell yeah, that's one of the greatest things like about having a really good model is that you can dual haunt yourself onto like another like headless little model, and you can basically have a new outfit. It's so cool. VTubing is so cool, but it sounded. I hate again. He words it weirdly, but it is sound advice. Creativity does save money, and it's very sound advice. Alrighty. Anyways, moving on. Moving on. Always have a backup day. Backup day. No one will ever have a 100% success rate when it comes to filming our videos on time and on a budget. It's impossible. But you still can do certain things to increase the probability of success, and one of the easiest but most overlooked is having a backup day. When you spend hundreds of thousands of dollars securing a set, renting a tank, etc., make sure you have the ability of extending them in case something goes wrong. It might not even be for your video. Something might go wrong with the gaming. Might go wrong on gaming, and now you need to slide your video a day to make up for it. I'd also rather have a hypothetical 9% cool looking tank with a dope owner who is making life easier on us, letting me do whatever I want, and the ability to pay extra to add a day, than the 100% cool looking tank but the owner micromanages what we do, and there's no backup day. This example is obvious, just throwing it out there to inspire you. Always check with creative before you do something like this, but backup days are necessary, and ideally work with people that see the value in us and lovingly and loves it, so we will be even more flexible. Okay, that's just like kind of applied to like making YouTube videos, but what he's trying to say here is just have cushion in what you're filming. That's it. When I saw a video on that, that's how the whole thing came up. Wait, what did? I'm not too sure what you're referring to, but hi, Funny Fan, how are you? Alrighty, next section. Don't take anything at face value. Okay, so this is the section I found to be the most cringe. I found this to be cringe, but there's also a good point to it, as much as I hate to admit to it. So listen closely, chat. Now this is also the section that caused the most controversy. So let's take it more into it. She does more contingency plans than Batman. Hey, man, you never know. As someone who is very much a worrisome person, it's so good to have a contingency plan for streaming, for making a video, traveling. Fuck it, that just applies to life, man. Don't take anything at face value. Always dig the most controversial section of this. One of the common things you probably see is accountability, and this doubles down to that. Don't take anything at face value. Always dig. This is particularly important when dealing with people outside of Mr. Beast's production team. If someone says something too good to be true, find out why. If it's fishy, investigate. That's just fucking life advice. You said it's worded weirdly, but not exactly incorrect. That's how all of it feels. Oh yeah, no, that's exactly like how I feel. Yeah. Okay, I'm glad you understand that. No, my son, I have plans and schemes. If you need 10,000 pillows by next week, but you've called in 10 pillow companies, and none have more than a few hundred in stock, but then the 11th company magically has 10,000 pillows, investigate. Are they drop shipping? Are the pillows shitty? Why the fuck does no one want your pillows? Push and get answers. What tends to happen is people think their job is done by finding the 10K pillows and just ordering them only from us to find out problems with them when they arrive, but it's too close to the filming window to fix it. Do not overly trust people outside the company. Investigate and verify what they say, or it's your fault if they don't pull through. Okay, I thought this was gonna be the controversial section, but I guess it wasn't. But he still makes a good point to this. This is actually one of the most sound paragraphs I think he has, where it actually makes sense. If something is too good to be true, whether it be in sponsorship, like someone says, like, hey, I'm gonna give you all this money if you just stream for 1 hour of one game. Okay, that's a little bit sus. I'm a sub 100... I'm a below 100 viewer YouTuber or VTuber streamer, whatever you want to fucking say, and you're offering me all this money for only 1 hour of gameplay, no extra promotion on any other social media. What's the catch? Gotta dig deeper into who's offering it. What's the game about? Is it spyware? Is it something that's gonna make your computer explode? Is it unfinished game? That's just life advice 101. Why do I feel some YouTubers read this and they were like thinking he's John Bezos treating their employees like slaves? I feel they never had the mind so someone running a business. That's what I'm saying too, because I'll be real with you. When I watched Rosanna Pansino go through this the first time, I was like, okay, yeah, he seems like an asshole. But then I watched the video again, her listening. I'm like, wait a minute. No, that kind of makes sense. Why is she angry about that? I don't get it. Why are people angry about it? Anyways, that's what I was thinking. Okay, higher forms of communication. So I think it's communications part 2. Electric Boogaloo. Okay, let's see. What does he have to say? If you spend any amount of time with James, you'll hear him bring up higher forms of communication a lot because it's important and somehow very overlooked by most people. The worst thing you could ever do when you need something for your critical component is email someone at the company. The best is to talk to them in real life. And I agree with this. I agree with this so much. I hate emailing. Especially with my work, I got so much work done when I went to Tokyo a month ago than I ever had working remote for them. It really is true that working with someone IRL and like doing the work IRL, and I'm the type that I hate going to the office, but it gets more results and it gets more work done. And that's just how life is. And I hate it that that's the truth, but it is the truth. It's very important that you know when to call people for stuff, grab them in real life, and when to text them. The lower the form of communication, the more miscommunication you'll face. That is so true. So true. As I'm typing this, you have no idea if I'm laughing, smiling, happy, mad, or sad. What do you think he is, chat? You can't read my body language or my face because that's not guaranteed that you'll understand what I'm conveying. He's right. He's right on that. Because a lot of people took this as being... A-Dog said it earlier. We don't know the tone he is trying to convey with this. And that goes with a lot of things on the internet, you know? We never understand the tone or what people are trying to convey by writing their message, because it can be interpreted a million different ways. And that's what happened with this document. That's what happened with this document. People took it as him being an angry, controlling, abusive boss, when he's just speaking like an autistic man. And that's okay. Because autism to autism, I understand what he's saying. Need more toilet paper in the bathroom? A text is probably fine. 1 week out from a video and things you are working out just went south. Minimum multi-way call with the heads of the video. Ideally grab them in real life if you can. The more complex what needs to be said, the higher the form of communication you should use. Call first and text if they don't answer. That's the wrong type of communication. Written communication also does not constitute communication unless they confirm they read it. Own your mistakes. Also, I really like that last line. Written communication also does not constitute communication unless they confirm they read it. I fucking love that. I want to live by that for the rest of my life. I'm gonna live by that for the rest of my life. That's so fucking good. How does document get sent to the public? It was leaked out by a staff member, a former staff member of Mr. Beast. And this was already confirmed to be a legitimate document by Mr. Beast. So that's why we're reviewing it. Otherwise, I wouldn't have reviewed it if it was just like, unconfirmed to be real, but it was confirmed to be real. As an introvert, I find well-detailed email preferable the way I can read and reread it. I prefer that too, but sometimes there's just way more important things you need to get through, and it's better to communicate it in real life and just have someone specifically there to take down notes. That's what I do. That's what I do for my work. Okay, own your mistakes. I hate excuses. I despise with my entire soul when people just try to save face instead of learning from how they messed up. VTuber, listen closely. Mistakes are okay. They are okay. Genuinely they are, and I expect you to make a lot of them. We're all gonna make mistakes at the end of the day, and it is perfectly fine. Every vendor here has cost me $1 million at one point or another, and you can go and ask them yourself if I ever held it over their heads. The reason I'm okay with fuck ups is because I know that's how you learn. I see it as me investing in you and your brain. Hence why I have zero tolerance for C players, and they must go immediately. Those fuck ups could have been done by an A player and they would retain the information learned. I expect that you learn from every mistake and try not to repeat it. That's when it gets annoying. I never ever once fired someone on the spot for messing up. If you have, there is conflicting information about that, so I don't know about that. That's conflicting from what I've heard. You have nothing to be afraid of. Own shit so we can address how to fix it, then move on. I think that's the problem a lot of VTubers have. People will own it, they'll address how to fix it, but people just don't fucking move on. VTubers, you need to learn how to move on. I'm gonna be so real with you. You guys gotta learn how to fucking move on from shit. It'll save you so much time, so much energy. Trust me on this. Alright, we got some different colored text. Let's do this. Page 18 out of 36. We're officially we're officially halfway through. Officially halfway. Nothing comes before your priorities. When you're being assigned a task, you should have what was called a prio list. So we talked about this, just kind of a repeat of earlier. So Ali says your prios: get a Lamborghini, get a wrapped in anime cards, make a custom steering wheel. There's nothing in the freaking planet that allows you to come between you and getting those prios done. If the other team asks you for help and you spend 2 days helping them and fall behind on getting your Lamborghini secured, that's your fault. If it's your job, if it's your assigned task, I gotta agree with him. The example he used is ridiculous. The way he words is ridiculous, but if you have a priority at your job, it's important you get that priority done. Because it will be your fault if you don't get it done. Does that make sense? I kind of understand what it... I kind of understand what he's saying. Again, he's saying it in an autistic sort of way. But I also get it. It's so worded harshly, though. How his videos are is so it's like a realistic scenario for him. Get your shit done because it's your job. Pretty much. He's got a point. Nothing more annoying than having to pick up a slacker for another employee who didn't put in their part. I mean, my cousin has to deal with that at his job. He works in software engineering at like a random fucking company. And all the time, he has to pick up the slack from other people because they just don't know what the fuck they're doing. But it makes sense. It makes sense. Okay, use consultants. Okay, what does he have to say about consultant? Because I'm a consultant. Okay, my job is coming into play here, so let's see what he has to say. It's good that you speak autism. All my friends are autistic, so I've learned, not only am I autistic myself, I've learned how to translate for my friends. And honestly, I feel like it's one of my friends that wrote this, so I'm just translating what they are saying and trying to put it into corpo speak or into more relatability terms. Mr. Reach delivering good information to frat boy. Yeah, the frat boy way. That's exactly what he's doing. Use consultants. Okay, what do you got to say about my job? Consultants are literally cheat codes. You need to make the world's largest slice of cake. Start by calling the person who made the previous world's largest slice of cake. LOL. He's already done countless tests and can save you weeks of work. I really want to drill this point home because I'm a massive believer in consultants. Yay! He likes my job! Because I spent almost a decade of my life hyper obsessed over YouTube. I can show a brand new creator how to go from 100 subscribers to 10,000 in a month. On their own, it would take them years to do it. Yes, it is true. Consultants are a gift from God. Please take advantage of them. Please take advantage of me, chat. Chat, if you know a company that wants to know more about VTubing or like the Western part of the industry, please give them my referral. I do VTubing consulting for different companies, actually Japanese companies, to help them understand the Western market. That's quite literally my job. I help people understand the VTubing market. That's it. That's all I do. And it's been massively successful. It's probably one of my most successful not even side hustle, it's my main job. That's my main job. That's why I say it's VTuber adjacent. But yeah, that's what I do. So if you know anyone who is interested in that sort of stuff, and I'm slowly learning the Japanese market, so I can do reverse. So Western VTubers who want to, or Western VTubers or VTuber companies that want to go into the Japanese market, I'll eventually be able to do consulting for them as well. So if you know anyone, give them my referral. Tell them I know shit. So on their own, they've been making it on there because those are a gift of God. Please take advantage of it. Every single freaking task assigned to you, always ask yourself first if you can find a consultant to help you. It is an important as I am demanding you repeat this 3 times in your head. I will always check for consultants when I'm assigned a task. We're not going to repeat that, but because I'm a consultant. Please use consultants. Thank you. Math Science Vision Approval approves budget. Everything you need can be approved by one of the 5 things above. Use Math, Science, Vision approvals, and budget. Okay. Oh, here we go. This is the controversial section. Chat. No does not mean no. This is the controversial section. And this is a section I did not like, actually. I didn't. It's a little more on the hustle side of the industry that I personally don't like. But I'm going to try my best to not be, biased against it and try to translate it for you. No does not mean no. When dealing with people outside of Mr. Beast Productions, never take no at a face value. If we need a store to buy everything inside and you call the local Dollar Tree and the person that answers says, no, you can't film here, that literally doesn't mean shit. I hate that mentality. Actually, I hate that mentality. I'm not a fan of it. Talking to other employees and seeing if they are fans or have any kids that are fans, try to talk to their bosses' bosses, have me DM them on Twitter to try the social team. I do not like this part. Holy fuck, this is horrible advice. If after all avenues are exhausted and you're left with a no, that doesn't mean don't try other Dollar Trees. Okay, so this is where it actually makes sense. Because the managers of the could be huge fans and willing to bend the rules. Basically, what I'm trying to convey is what we call push through no. Don't just stop because one person told you no. Stop when all conceivable options are exhausted. This is one of the many tools that we combine dramatically improve your probability of success when producing here. So I hate this part a lot just because of how he words it. And I'm not a fan of people who see here's the thing. Here's my counter argument as well. I think it's also reasonable that people don't stop at their first no. That's fine. I'm not saying that, like, you know, this is horrible advice, because deep in this that I don't like, there is sound advice, and it's don't stop at your first no. Don't stop at your first rejection. Don't stop at your first no. Don't stop at your first rejection. But it should not be at the sake of using others or, you know, disrespecting others. And this was the most controversial section. Because taking advantage of fans' goodwill, of their bosses for being fans, their bosses' kids, that's not good. But also, again, there is sound advice in here. There is sound advice. Just don't stop at the first no. Exhaust all resources. For example, if this Dollar Tree, for really use a Dollar Tree, if this Dollar Tree says no, you can't film here, call a fucking another one. One of them is bound to do it. But officer, no means no. More so the problem is that he's pushing through and not going to another. That's what it is. That's the issue. And I find that to be very disrespectful. If someone says no, you can't film here, okay, that's fine. I'll go somewhere else. It's like when I go to Japan and there's a restaurant there that says no foreigners allowed. I'm not gonna make a big deal out of it and be like, this is the only restaurant I could eat at. What are you talking about? I'm not allowed in here. I'm gonna post it on Twitter and make sure that this changes such that I can't eat in here. I'm gonna go eat somewhere else. There's 1,000, if not a million other restaurants out of that one restaurant that won't allow foreigners that I could go eat at. I understand what you're trying to get at, but the wording is sending me. I know the wording is just like the worst. This is the worst thing ever. Like, I get it, but this part makes me hate. I hate this section so much. Because it just shows the toxicity that he has. This is actually true toxicity right here. Corporate toxicity. This is true. This is all of it right here. I came to see Nyaru and I see a big message saying no does not mean no. What is going on? We're looking at these. Well, I can show you real quick. How to succeed on Mr. Beast Company, Mr. Beast Productions document, and we're on page 19, and we just got through one of the worst sections of the fucking document. You could turn this into a 2-sentence thing and get the message across, plus that mindset will bleed into other portions of your relationships. Yep. It's a sleazy, it is a sleazy tactic. It is. And I hate this. I hate it so much. I hate it. It's spoiled kid energy. It's toxic CEO energy. I hate it. I hate it. Boo. But there's sound advice in there. And the good advice to come out of this, dare I say, is don't stop at the first no. Don't let your first no stop you at your job. Just try other avenues. But those avenues should not be at the cost of taking advantage of people's goodwill or disrespecting other people. It's trust fund baby behavior. This is the only section I hated, I think. If I remember correctly. This is the only one I hate. I hated this section so much. Alrighty. Just lie. Easy. No, you can't do that either. Because karma will come back for you. I hate liars too. Liars fucking suck. Okay, here we go. Work on multiple videos every day. Another grind set one I think a lot of people had trouble with, but not as bad as the other one. Please do not come in and only work on one video during a work day. That's how you fall behind on future videos and create a nasty cycle that I'm trying to stop. If you drop everything and go all out on a video for 3 days, and that's 3 days your other videos will fall behind. Eventually, you'll have to drop other videos to focus on those videos, and it will snowball into you can't do anything but focus on what's right in front of you because you murdered any time you had. If you ever only work on one video during a day, you failed as a Mr. Beast employee that day. I'm gonna try to translate this, okay? I'm gonna try to translate this. He just wants you to keep up with your work, I think. Because here's the thing. It's definitely a quantity over quality type thing. I can see how that could be misled. But I think what he's easily trying to say is just keep up with your task and don't dedicate a whole day to one individual task unless it calls for it. You know? Easily divide your time between different projects so one project isn't falling behind. That's the whole point here, and that is sound advice. But again, it comes off like him being an asshole. Autistic asshole. What can you do? Be able to hold a camera. Obviously, everyone has their roles in the company. TBH, if you can consistently lead and produce videos with me with a 90% success rate, I don't care if you piss in the sink every day, I'll still love you. But having said that, it'd be nice at some point you get trained in our style of holding a camera. When we do big shoots, it's not local. It'd be nice to not have to bring 1 billion per. I don't even know how much that number is. I'm dyslexic. People and 100,000 camera people. If, for example, there are only a few scenes that need a couple extra cameramen, I love for us to not have to fly, house, transport, and maybe more cameramen when we could just have a few people from production or creative help with those overflow scenes because typically more cameramen we have filming is less important each shot becomes. Be cautious leaving people as slackers if they struggle to complete tasks. Instead, a manager should focus on scheduling work more effectively and distributing tasks among those who can complete them and minimize bottlenecks. Exactly. I'm pretty sure that's what he was trying to say, but it comes off as him being an asshole. I swear most of these paragraphs could be a singular sentence. That's also the meme. That's also the big meme, the big theme of this. Holding a camera that's simple enough, not in Mr. Beast Productions. There's a certain style of holding a camera. Mr. Beast supports piss drinkers. Okay, first of all, based. If that's what you got out of it, you know what? More power to you, 𝗬𝗙. 1 out of 10 good. 10 out of 10 bad. YouTube has a feature that compares new uploads of performances to previous 9 videos and tells you how the views rank in the first hour, first 2 hours, first 3 hours, first 4 hours, etc. This is what it looks like. Okay, so I've seen this before. Pretty much it compares all your top recent videos and how well they perform against each other, and within like a certain time span. It could be set to like 90 days, 10 days, 1 day, etc, etc, and it gives you a lot of good analytics shit like that. Okay, another example of that. So top views first day, 3 hours of these recent ones. These are all the top 10. So you hear someone asking what a video was out of 10. This is what they are asking for. Okay, that could have been a sentence. That could have been one image. Okay, so here's the random things you should know section. Let's see what he has to say. I'm almost done with this chapter, and then we have to move on to creative. Before we do that, I still have tons of notes about producing content that I can't really break into their own section, so I want to rapid fire them here so you can at least hear them once before starting your journey. Do not leave contestants waiting. Buddy, you're getting sued for that. LMAO. Anyways, you're getting sued for that. Buddy, anyways. Spectacles are videos and that only Mr. Beast channel can do. Not every video should be a spectacle, and we realize these videos are hard, but that's the point. I actually don't know what he meant by that, but okay. I hate having tons of people on set. If someone is necessary, then that's fine, but if not, kick them off set or have them watch from behind a monitor. Create an environment where the contestants also feel natural. That aged like milk, but okay. I'd rather be honest with each other than nice to each other. That's actually something really, I feel like VTubing could use. I'd rather people be honest than nice. But they also shouldn't be an asshole. That's what I'm trying to say. You can be honest, but don't be an asshole. Simple as. Do not talk down to talent or do anything to make them feel like shit. I need them to be happy and in a good mood, and those boys are special to me. Ideally, most talks with talent, Chris, Carl, Chandler, and Nolan, go through me, Ali, or Tyler to avoid confusion amongst them. Okay. Me like simple. Me like simple. Ooga booga. Me like simple. The simpler the better. Apply with a grain of salt. I don't know. I kind of like this advice. I'm also someone who really likes things simple. I'm not the type to do over the top like celebration streams, uncapped subathons, big flamboyant like debut type of shit. I just want to have a good time with you guys. I don't want to make it overcomplicated or do anything like that. Simple is fun. Simple can be good. And I think a lot of burnout can be solved if we just do things in a simple way. Not everything needs to be an extravagant celebration. Anyways. We pivot a lot. Be ready to have everything flipped on its head at a moment's notice. That's just life in general. I want money spent to be shown on camera idea. This is where it kind of comes off a little bit ingenuine to it, like his character or whatever. I want money to be shown on camera ideally. If you're spending over $10,000 on something and it won't be shown on camera, seriously think about it. Content chat. Everything can be content. Work with intensity. That's good advice. Push outwards, not inwards. Also sound advice. Put all-nighter weekends before the shoot so you don't have days before the shoot. That's also sound advice. Work your ass off a week before everything so that way you don't have to work as hard during that week or during the shoot. I get it. That makes sense. If something goes wrong or if something goes wrong on shoot, always check to see if there could be made into content. This is another part I did not like. This basically comes off as, is someone dying? Film it for content. It gives off Jake Paul vibes. How he went to Suicide Force, he was like, oh, we're trying to go exploring, and then he filmed a fucking dead body. That's how this one comes off. A tree falling over on your car and breaks 100 vases we need to give away. That's fucking hilarious, and we should mention that in the video, LOL. That could be misinterpreted so many ways, and I can see how that looks really bad on him. I would not do that, chat. You need to film everything with poise. That's my advice. Feasibility is working to see if critical components of a video are actually possible. Example would be if I want to play hide and seek in the world's largest building. If you did feasibly on this, that basically means you're trying to see if it's possible to get the building. If you do, then we have a video. It should go into production. If you can't, then that's why it was in feasibility. So no one else. I don't think he understands what feasibility means. Chat, I don't think he understands what that word means. Oh, I know he said it right. He said it right. Never mind. I'm just stupid. He said it right. I'm just a stupid illiterate woman. Never do anything that can make us look bad from a PR perspective. Wow, this aged like fine fucking milk. This aged like fine fucking milk. We often do renderings of sets to see what they look like beforehand, which is amazing and can help a lot of us. I'm very visual and it gets the whole team on the same page. When they're doing these renders through, I want to make sure you know the difference between the pre-vis and concept. Please do not refer to a render as a pre-vis unless it's actually what we plan on building. It's just a render for inspiration, not building locked. Call it a concept. It was greatly helped the confusion in my opinion. Many people waver on a concept but call it pre-vis, and people see expecting it that's what built, only to find out later that it was a concept and the actual set is much different. I think that's sound advice as well. Knowing the difference between concepting and visualization, you know, because a concept is pretty much like it's an idea, you know? It's an idea. It's not a fleshed out idea, but it's a idea that can be flexible. And then, of course, in this context that he's saying pre-visual, that's what they're expecting everything. I think just clear communication is what he's trying to say. All right, chapter 3, creative. All right, 10 more pages and then we'll be done, Chad. 10 more pages. We are a creative first company because when the creative leads the vision of the shoot, the production is always better. So I think it's important you all understand creative. It is what drives everything we do, and it is the heart of our content. Being creative and understanding what makes good content is like a cheat codes in production, camera, and obviously editing. Let's take production for example. Let's say you are tasked with finding us a castle and live in for 50 hours while we do research. You find a castle and a number to call for the owner. So you do call, he answers. Only problem is he says it's quiet. He quit the castle renting business to pursue his dream of building a 100-foot tall Lego catapult. You can also tell where I'm going with this. Ideally, you recognize that badass. That's badass as fuck, and try to convince him to let us use it when we do find a castle. This is a bad example because it's so obvious you're doing your job right. You'll be doing an absurd amount of calls and data collecting. I don't think you should be using data collecting. You should not be. That's a horrible term to use. Never say you're data collecting. Just say research. Because data collecting, here's the thing. This is something I actually tell a lot with Japanese companies I work with, is language. Language is so different between Japan and here in America. Like, I'm going to use AI for example. AI, completely acceptable term to use over there. Completely acceptable tool to use over there. Here in America, you'll get fucking crucified to no end if you mention anything AI. So sometimes I tell companies, like, I get it. You use AI in your description of, like, your business in Japan. But if you want to expand here to America, just know it's going to cause you a bunch of unnecessary problems. It's going to be just an annoyance. It's best you just avoid the use of AI. Or not use of AI, but using AI to describe your business. More people will be interested in it, and you'll have way less of a tougher time getting into the market for the average user. Right, for people to trust you. And this is a good example of this. Language is so fucking weird between markets. And if he's using the Western market to talk about, saying data collecting is a horrible thing to say. It's horrible. Don't ever say that. God fucking damn it. What happened? What happened? To never doing anything that could make us look bad from a PR perspective. You said something that could look bad from a PR perspective multiple times in here. Ugh. If it is an internal memo, it can still come off wrong to people that you bring onto your team. It can still look just as bad. I follow someone who works in Japan and they were warned not to use lollies for Western market and advertising. Yes, I have unfortunately had to give that advice as well. Many years ago, I went to go meet with the VTuber agency that's based in Japan, and they were very interested in going into the Western market. However, they gave me a little litmus test for them. Basically said, look at this lolly design. Would she do well over there? I told them personally, I find her really cute, and I know so many people who would find her cute. However, there are many people, there are many people who will harass this VTuber who would get this model if she were to debut in the States. And that's not me being like, I'm anti-lolicon. I don't like lollies. That's literally the fucking reality of having a lolly model in the Western VTuber industry. You will get harassed. You will face a lot of challenges. Hello, Private Leslie. Thank you so much for the raid. Thank you. Welcome in, everyone. Thank you. Welcome in. Let me go and give you a shout out and introduce yourself, right, everyone. Sen, 𝗕𝗿𝗵𝗵 𝗕𝗿𝗵𝗵 𝗨𝗨. Hello, everyone. My name is Nyaru. I'm the Eternal Shining Star Idol, and it's super nice to meet you guys. And today we are reviewing How to Succeed at Mr. Beast Company and Mr. Beast Productions. And we are currently on page 25, 26? Yeah, 25. We're on page 25. We were just talking about like an example of like bad language in like these kind of company documents. And this is one of them. Twitter freaks aren't people though. But unfortunately, you have to look at this from a business perspective. Is it worth it? Is it worth all of the hassle of dealing with people who will constantly try to bring you down, try to harm your business, make you lose thousands of dollars, hundreds if not thousands of dollars? That's why it's easier for indies to have a lolly model than it is for someone corporate side to possibly, put that risk out there, because the moment you appeal to a certain audience, it's never fucking going back. Sanji is a good example of this. They appealed to a very I don't want to say this as like a term to use, honestly, because I don't like bringing politics into it, but dare I say, they definitely leaned more into a leftist politics type of audience. And because of that, when Sanji Japan or English, they talk about things like McDonald's, like going to eat at McDonald's, like in a McDonald's collaboration. Look how much harassment and how much bullshit they have to deal with just from that simple comment. So if someone were to come in there and to have the lolly model, they would need to pick their audience very specifically, and they would need to dedicate themselves to that audience that accepts them. Because the moment you steer clear away from that audience that you know will accept them, it's over. It's fucking over for you. Don't be honest that you think will hurt you. Exactly. That they had the mail apology letters for eating McDonald's. Yep, exactly. And I'm not saying it's right or wrong. This is just an example I'm using. I don't fucking care at the end of the day. But it's just an example that we're using for that. Sorry to get a little bit off tangent there, but it definitely is a very, very important thing that a lot of corporate entities and VTuber agencies do consider and do take into effect. It's like, what is their audience, and would their audience like not crucify them for this? But yeah, there's so many other factors that go into play as well, but that's just like more surface level type of stuff. I'm gonna move on. Okay. Anyways, that wasn't even the whole point of this, so while trying to complete your prios and prepare for the video, you should always be on the lookout for new things you can bring to the creative team to inspire them. Because just like me, they don't know what they don't know, and you can't just say, I'm production and I'm not very creative, because that's literally the equivalent of saying, I suck at what I do. That's true. Because I see so many VTubers every day be like, I'm a VTuber, but I suck at streaming. Or I'm a VTuber and I'm very good at streaming. I'm a VTuber, but I'm not good at singing. I'm not good at making videos. That's the equivalent of saying that you suck at what you do. It's a little bit harsher way of saying it, but not a lot of people are going to be confident in you if you say, I'm not good at X, I'm not good at Y. Just be like, I struggle with X, but I improve to be... I want to improve to get better. Positive PR, if that makes sense. I'll use me as an example. I said I was a failed idol for so long, and that brought a lot of misconceptions about me. The moment I started saying, I started not calling myself a failed idol, that's when a lot of people actually took me serious. Just something to think about. You also need to apply the same mindset when problem solving because many people lose sight of this stuff when in the weeds. If a problem appears, always ask yourself if your new plan what best for creative, not just the easiest band-aid. Ah! Sorry. I didn't mean for that to happen. How long can I write on being a high school valedictorian? 0 days. 0 days. What is the goal of our content? Alrighty, chat. I heard this is also controversial, but let's see. To excite me. Okay, we got some Mr. Beast narcissism in here. Okay. Okay. To excite me. The goal of our content is to excite me. They may sound weird to some of you, especially if you're new, but to me, it's what's the most important. If I'm not excited to get in front of the camera and film a video, it's just simply not going to happen. I'm not fake. I will be authentic. I don't know about that, but okay. And if I'm not excited about a video, we're fucked. Luckily, I say I'm a pretty predictable guy, at least in this regard. What excites me is what I believe what makes the audience happy. That's what's always has been and will always will be. This is actually sound advice. I like this. What excites me is what I believe will make the audience happy. And this should be true in everything that you do when regards to content creation. If you're not happy making the content, no one is going to be happy watching you stream, play a game. Like for me, I personally didn't enjoy, like, there's certain games I just don't enjoy. And I'm not going to force myself to play a certain genre or a certain game just because it's popular right now. Like Persona, for example, I'm not a fan of the Persona series. But even when Persona was coming out with a bunch of new games a couple of years ago, everyone was playing them. And I didn't play them because I wasn't interested in it. I'm not gonna give up my happiness, what I like to stream just for some quick numbers. There's a reason why I'm so successful when it comes to streaming class of 09. It's because I genuinely enjoyed the series. And a lot of people loved it. Loved that genuinity that I had, the genuine laughs that I had, the genuine like enjoyment and fulfillment that I had from it. He doesn't sound advice he's just a weird narcissistic way of saying it. Yeah, he does, and it's so silly. But this is good advice right here. I think that's advice every streamer, content creator, and just life. It's just good life advice in general. If you're not happy, you need to walk away from it. I'm willing to count to 100,000, bury myself alive, or walk a marathon in the world's largest pair of shoes if I must. I just want to do what makes me happy and ultimately viewers happy. And that's what makes Mr. Beast work, because you can tell in his videos that he genuinely enjoys what he does. And that's the thing that kids like. They like to see people enjoy shit. And that's just people enjoy in general. They love to see people enjoy things and have genuine happiness. Because let's be real, it's hard to find that nowadays. And most people come to streams and come to videos just to fulfill that empty void of happiness. Okay, anyways, where was I? This channel's my baby and I've given up my life for it. I'm so emotionally connected to it that it's sad. But this time, one thing I never compromised on. I have zero issues throwing away multi-million-dollar video if I don't think it's up to my standards. And it's good for the audience. I think that's just sound advice. If something is not working out, you need to be okay with giving it up, you know? If VTubing is not working out for you, you gotta be okay with giving it up. We must always be improving and innovating. The camera angles need to always get better. The pacing, the story, the jokes, the color, the lighting, the music, the props, the people are framing our ideas. Literally everything must always be improved and innovating because that's what excites me. That's literally what I live for, to see these videos get better and better and ultimately make the viewer happy. Alrighty, where was I? Okay, here. Sorry, I lost my train of thought for a second. I was like, what the fuck? Okay, what makes good content? This thing is subjective and my brain is probably going to turn into mush. The problem with what I'm writing here is that good content is limitless. I think that's sound advice. Good content is limitless. Literally anything can be made good content. So true, 𝗬𝗠. Like, take a baby doll, for example. You can see who can throw it the farthest with the left hand out of a group of 5 people. Watch them throw a baby doll with their bad hand and funny sound effects. It's fucking hilarious. You can also go to the opposite route and have 1,000 baby dolls and see how many it takes for someone to throw in a crib 200 feet away. Or you can see how many baby dolls it would take to break a 2x4 in half. The point I'm trying to convey here is that even something as simple as a baby doll can have an infinite amount of ways you can turn into amazing, original, and funny content. That's so true. So freaking true. So freaking true. You don't need to. That's big Uwo slap. But Uwo is a perfect example of this. How we can turn an average fucking science experiment into something so entertaining. He is such a good example. Such a good example. Okay, where was I? One of the secret weapons to Mr. Beast Productions, we aren't stuck in the old ways of thinking. You can literally turn anything into content. This is what we need. This is what VTubing needs. They're not be stuck just doing like what they think they need to do. They need to do what they want to do. And what they believe is good content, and try to make good content out of what they believe is good. Because if they think it's good, then other people are gonna think it's good. But if they think it sucks, then everyone else is gonna think it sucks. Simple as. Good content can be anything, and always have an open mind and never stop innovating. Such good advice right there. Having said that, this is YouTube and there are constraints. Just like with everything, man. You hate to see it. You know, the video can't be a minute, so you're obviously going to need a story to hold the viewers, and there are rules to storytelling. Our audience is massive, because of that has to be simple for 50 million people to understand something. It must be simple. Content can be anything, but there is structure and rules that we must mold into that I want to teach you about. Because virality doesn't just happen. Every frame of our video will be seen by tens of millions of people. How to measure the success of content. Like I said, the start of the metrics you care about in regards to the virality are CTR, AVR, and AVP. Where was I? If you want to know the contents of a video are good, just look at the AVD and AVP of a video after we upload it. Because based on how long people will watch and what percentage of the video they watch, you can clearly see that they enjoyed it. To show in action, below our rendition data of the 2 separate videos of almost identical links from the channel. All ADV and AVP data I share will be first a day data to make apples to apples. If you don't know what it means, that's okay. It's mostly in case Mario gets his hands on this, haha. Okay. One video has 120 million views and the other only has 45 million. Look at the retention numbers to see if you can pick up which one got triple the views. Okay, let's see. So based off of this, the lower one, because of the 68.3% average percentage viewed and the average duration as well as higher than this one. This one also has lots of bigger peaks, like he said. It has a lot of peaks, so that means people are skipping to like certain parts and people are finding more of these parts interesting. And it doesn't really, it also has a severe fallback right here, but that doesn't really affect it. Meanwhile, this one, of course, lower viewer duration, lower percentage, but these also have multiple little dips in them that shows that people are clicking off after a certain point, despite it still remaining flat. Okay, so what's his answer? What's his answer? Am I still live, by the way? I thought my YouTube kind of fucked up for me right now. Is my internet still am I still good, chat? Can someone reply real quick? I just want to make sure I'm okay. I'm okay and I'm still alive. Okay. You're fine on Twitch side. Okay. Good. Thank you. I just want to make sure. I see you. Okay, thank you. For For some reason, both chats like disconnected and then they reconnected, and then I went to go double check right now to see if I was still alive, and things like reloaded. I was like, oh no, did my internet go out? So I freaked out. Thank you guys. The answer is the lower image. Okay, so of course, people on average watch the video a minute and 38 seconds longer than the other videos the same length. Oh, I didn't notice that actually. Oh yeah, I see it. Of course, it got triple the views. It's clear as day from YouTube that people like the video much more. For your videos to do well, you must get their ADV and AVP as high as possible. The longer people watch it, the better a video will do. That's why I'm such a stickler about every single second of content. Hook people at the start of the video and transition them into an amazing story that they are invested in. I have had no dull moments and have satisfying payoff at the end of the video with an abrupt ending. Agreeable. That works for the YouTube algorithm though. Okay, formats! Almost done, chat. 7 more pages to go. One way to boost rendition of the video is to have a good format of the video to follow. Let's use our popular Last to Leave series as an example. These videos have many reasons why they do so well, in particular because it's the payoff at the end. You see, once you start watching at Last to Leave, you get invested in the progress of the challenge. You really want to see who leaves the circle at last and wins $100,000. Luckily, the winner isn't revealed until the end of the video, so as long as we don't make the video boring as hell, people are very likely to stick around until the end. Strong payoffs at the end of the video boost rendition. But obviously, Last to Leave isn't our only format. Another example of a format is what I like to call stair-stepping. A good example of this is I bought the world's largest firework, and the video opens showing all fireworks and then lighting a $1 firework, then a $10, then a $50, $375,000, and $10,000, and then we did some content, then 40 to 100,000, and then the world record. As you get deeper into the video, the stakes get higher. The payoff of the world record is at the end, and it's such a beautiful moment, beautiful format that allows you to deviate if you want, as long as things are progressively getting cooler. I fucking love stair-stepping. Another format would be the ones where I get chased like a bounty hunter, military, FBI. Just like the Last to Leave challenges, you don't know until you get to the end of the video what the results are. Will they catch me? Will I get away? Gotta watch it. So pretty much what he's saying is storytelling. It's just another section about storytelling. That's it. I think that's all this section is. Throughout history of the channel, we've been through many formats. A big one back in the day was donating to Twitch streamers, and people loved them. I'll go into random streamers and donate 10k to the streamer to see how they react. All in all, we did 12 of them, and when I saw people still beg for more, and that's because, like Steve Joss says, people don't know what they want. The viewers may think they want a format forever, but they don't. They want new and fresh things. That is so true. So freaking true. Hello, Buffy. How are you? It is so true. Viewers do not want the same thing, and I kind of suck at this because I get way too comfortable doing certain things, and I just like doing those certain things and being in a comfy bubble. I struggle with this, but it's so true. People want fresh things. People want new things, but you also have to execute it properly so your audience isn't shell-shocked when you do that new thing, if that makes sense. This is why I'm constantly ditching formats in exchange for new ones. Ideally, 2 videos of the same format are not back-to-back. I like multiple different videos in between them if possible. Who is our audience? Here's a screenshot from the back end. Europe is the biggest percentage, but it's broken up into countries, so it doesn't seem like it. So United States takes about 36.9%, UK 7.3%, India 6.8%, Philippines 4.6%, Canada 3%. I'm actually surprised Canada is lower than all those other foreign countries. Okay, here's another one by age and gender. So he has a majority male audience, so it makes sense for him to want to do more masculine-esque, like sport-esque trials. I'm actually quite surprised at the 13 to 17 isn't a lot higher though. But then again, the average Zoomer age right now is 18 to 24, so that makes sense. 25 to 34, it definitely dips back off, and I'm surprised. 35 to 44 is more than 25 to 34. I'm also surprised at how big the 45 to 54 bracket is. I'm pretty sure anyone 55 and older is just watching it with their grandkids, so surprising statistics there. Most kids lie about their age on YouTube, to be fair. That is true. That is something we do gotta take into account. Oh, here we go. Our content is consumed by everyone at this point. Kids watch the videos with their mom, even through our female viewership is only 30%. There's still a 9-figure views a month from women, and it's worldwide, but not too worldwide. 50% plus is still America and Europe. But despite saying all that, at its core, I had to describe it. I say the average Mr. Beast viewer, is teenage memer that likes video games. And you know what? He knows his audience. And that's so important for VTubers, streamers, content creators in general, is to know your audience. Know what kind of audience you want to target and dedicate content towards that said audience. Like, for example, I don't dedicate myself to... This stream is actually a good example. I don't dedicate myself to, appealing to other VTubers. I try to get an audience where they're also not streamers themselves. Now, that doesn't mean that other VTubers or streamers don't watch me, but I try to focus on the average viewer. Average viewer, 25 plus, who likes memes and shitposting and likes multiplayer games. So I try to... Oh, and autism. People fucking love autism. So because of that, I dedicate a lot of my content that I know people will like. And this stream, for example, is probably something not a lot of people are going to enjoy from my audience, because a lot of people aren't streamers or not VTubers or not content creators. So they're gonna see the stream as, oh, okay, I'm gonna skip this because I'm not really interested in like the industry aspect or like learning how to stream myself. But I did see a couple of VTubers in here that at least come up and are listening, and I really appreciate that. It's one of those rare instances where the audience does kind of flop, but that's not my main target audience. So it's so rare for them to come into a stream like this. It's rare for me to do a stream like this. But again, the whole point is it's important to know your core audience, know who you're targeting, and how to target them and how to appeal to them. That's basically what this is saying. That's basically what it's saying. I did the first stream I saw yours, was a real-time weather report. You were saying creative. I think we all love everything you do. Thank you. I should do more weather reports, but extreme weather season is kind of dying down, so it's kind of hard to do weather reports in the fall and winter months. Spring is like the peak time to do it. Marketing 101 is pretty much it. I love stuff like this. Oh, I'm glad you enjoy it. I know there's some people that enjoy it, but I do recognize this stream wasn't going to be as popular because it's, not made for my average viewers. But it's something I truly enjoy. And the people that do enjoy me and enjoy seeing me enjoy something, they see that, and I appreciate that. It's kind of like a give or take sort of thing. Okay, you should watch our videos. If you're going to be working for okay, this is another repeat section, I think. If you're going to be working for Mr. Beast brand, you should be a fan of the Beast brand. A lot of valuable knowledge comes from watching vast amounts of our videos. I feel silly for having to write this at the time I take to new people. At the time I talk to new people, and I see most like 5 or 6 of our videos, and it's mind-blowing that they don't see a problem with that. As I said earlier, I love for you to watch the channel, but especially the main channel, seeing how you're working on it. To get 60% up to speed, watch our last 50-ish videos if you're a monster and really want to understand the history of the company, the innovation we've been through. I recommend you watch every video back until you hit 10 million subscribers special. Anything before that is a waste of time, in my opinion. I think every YouTuber, every streamer has a point like that. Like the first year of my VTubing, I honestly sometimes don't consider it my first year of VTubing because I didn't really know what the fuck I was doing. It was after my second year when I really started taking things more serious, and even after my third year, I took things even more serious. And now look where I am, 4 years later. Hee. Okay, where were we? If you've seen every video we made since the 10 million, then you will have a lot of content information others don't. It will make you that much more valuable. Brand deals are content. That is true. This is very true. If you watch a lot of YouTube, you'll probably notice that when someone does a brand deal, it's boring and sounds like they're reading from a script. Because that's 99% of it what it is, unfortunately. Because when you sign a contract, you sign to do a specific action. So if the company wants you to read off of a script, and not do anything else to compromise said script. You have to stick to that. Only very select YouTubers have a freedom to how they want to do their brand deals because they have more power than the company. Very few. But for the average Joe like me and someone way higher than me, like around the 500, like under 1,000 viewers, they're gonna get very strict requirements in their brand deals. They're not gonna be able to be creative with it unless they ask permission or it is part of their contract. But if you're someone like 𝗏𝘏𝘁𝗂𝘁𝘂, someone like, for example, Mr. Beast, like Kaisen, whatever the fuck his name is, you have more power than the company. You have more influence than the company. So they'll be a little more lenient with you. But again, the average person can't be creative with it, unfortunately. That's just how it is. So we watch a lot of YouTube. You probably notice that when someone does brand deal, okay, we already wrote that. We take a different approach to brand deals. We like to integrate them into the content so it doesn't nuke our rendition and boost conversation. Remember I told you we could see the exact moment when viewers click off? Here's a retention chart for when we use the brand deals the old way. So yeah, that's an example of that. Notice the creator when the brand deal is. It means people skipped it and also clicked off the video. Now here's a retention chart of the new style of brand deals that we do. The dip is way less dramatic and for the most part is something I can live with to help fund videos. Brand deals are content. And we treat as such a boost rendition. We need to make them entertaining. Also, fun fact, the last CEO that sponsored a video said the return was 1.7 times the return they get on an NFL championship game ad. He said that an NFL commercial gets you a giant spike in customers day one, then it disappears forever after, where the brand deal gets us a huge spike for a few days and it settles down, then a respike when we upload again. Because after they watch the new video, they go back and watch the video before it. And even after that, our videos typically get 1 million views plus a month for years, aka tons of residual customers. And it is smart. That's the reason why a lot of brands are going towards contacting streamers and content creators to do advertising. And the reason why you're seeing a lot of weird ads on TV nowadays, because those weird ads that are on TV now, they usually get taken up by the bigger companies. But ever since they started innovating and using streamers, content creators, YouTube, Twitch, Netflix, yeah. I don't think I gotta explain that even further, so yeah. Okay, understand culture. When consuming on social media, you want to watch YouTube, TV, the games you play, etc. And what I like to call your information diet. Chris Tyson, our first subscriber, and the guy in the videos is a wonderful example of an information diet being used to perfection. This dude is funny as fuck. I never met anyone in my entire life that can make people laugh like he can, and I never understood why he is so good at it until I lived with him for a few years. This dude watches a obscene amount of cartoons and stupid shit. I think that's also the reason why I'm so silly too. I watch way too many memes. There's a reason why content creators that constantly have like a TikTok addiction, they're so funny to the average Zoomer because they literally just repeat the same exact TikTok bullshit and they apply it to their Zoomer audience and bang, they make a whole bunch of money. His eyeballs exist and inhale complete amounts of just goofy, dumb, and brain-numbing content. As a result, he could quote almost any line for any episode of SpongeBob. He's able to draw from so much stupid shit in his head and inspires to make jokes and be quirky. As a result, he is fucking hilarious. And it's but let's imagine a different Chris. Let's say instead of cartoons and stupid shit, his information diet was stocks and investing advice. And for 5 years, that's all he consumed. Do you think he'd be just as funny as he currently is? Damn, that's kind of fucking deep. No, he's, in my opinion, would even be as 20% as funny. If you're a writer or director, you really need to monitor and perfect your information diet. If your diet is not correct, you won't have a good pulse on culture. I don't want you to be a Chris, in fact. I think that would probably do you harm. Talent needs to inhale cartoons so they can be funny. Writers need to inhale inspiration. Let's say there's a purple fruit in the middle of Australia that when eaten makes you 2 feet taller. If that chili did exist, you wouldn't have known that until just now. But now that you know of it, you can draw it for inspiration for every piece of content you write going forward. That's beautiful. It can now sit in the back of your mind and wait for that one video if it's needed. It might take 10 videos or even 100, but eventually you'll need the brainstorming. You'll be brainstorming a bit and think of that right one to use for the fruit for. And this is everything on this fucking planet. You can't get inspired by things you don't know exist. So how do you learn to... This is such good advice, by the way. This is so good. So how do you learn more about what's out there in the world? How do you stay up to date with the latest memes? How do you know what's going on with celebrities? What's trending on YouTube? What other creators are doing? What's popping on TikTok? Your information diet. Consume things on a daily basis that help you write better content. And this is exactly what I do. This is exactly what I do. I like watching the news, but at the same time, what's gonna be more useful for me when I come onto stream? Is it gonna be watching my local news or scrolling through Twitter for a little bit and seeing what the latest meme, what the latest trend, what the latest drama is, so I can talk about it on stream, have a talking point to talk about with you guys. Same applies to streaming. Same applies. News is too doomer. News is really good. I actually really like. I really enjoy watching the news chat. I'm a weird. I was taught at a young age that the news is very important, and it's very important to stay up to date on like current happenings in the world, thanks to my grandpa. But I also don't have the focus on it because I don't need the news all the time. I need scrolling Twitter all the time. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. But that's essentially what I do. Almost there, chat. 2 more pages. It's okay for the... Okay, this is another controversial section. It's okay for the boys to be childish, TM. I'm one of the boys, TM. If talent wants to draw a dick on a whiteboard in the video or do something stupid, let them. Assuming they know the risk and aren't missing the context on why it's not safe. Fair. People like when we are in our natural element of stupidity. That is true. People do like it when you're autistic and stupid. I am proof of that. I am actual proof of that. People like it when I'm stupid and autistic. Really do everything you can to empower the boys when filming and help them make their content. What, Yoshi? Help them be idiots. We don't fake things. All right, buddy. Be sure to prep contestants and try to create an environment where they feel comfortable talking. All right, buddy. This is aging really bad now. This is aging really bad. If you wrote a banger piece of content, but it's a 50-50 chance of working, write another piece of content. Content is unlimited. Don't be lazy. So true, 𝗠fic𝗐. That's actually good advice. Run your content by as many people as possible for inspiration on how you can make it even better. This is so true. I actually run by my content with my family that lives here. So like my cousin and my aunt. And I asked them, like, does that sound fun? Does that sound stupid? And then somebody like, yeah, that sounds fun. I think I watched that. Or, nah, that doesn't sound as interesting. You could probably do better with it. Or, have you suggested probably doing this? I get inspiration from my family a lot. Like, this stream was technically inspired by some friends telling me, or making fun of, like, Mr. Beast. But, as well, I told my family about it. And they're like, wow, it actually sounds really fun. I'd love to hear you talk about it. So that's the reason why I went forward with it. Because they also said it would sound fun. I want famous people in our videos. Okay, that's just Mr. Beast talking. Don't ever put me in a situation where I have to lie because I won't and it will screw the video. Oh my god. No dull moments in videos. You can't fake intensity in videos. Yeah, you can with just a couple of editing cuts and sound effects. It's so easy to fake. Can we kiss? Who pitched you a 31 minutos watch along, by the way? I think it was you, dog. You were Margot. I don't remember. The video ending must always be abrupt to protect rendition. This is really a creative thing, but general when on set to be attentive. When on set, be attentive and engaged. Filming days are stressful enough. Be useful, please. Okay. Alrighty, last page, last section, chapter 4, your career. And this is it. Your career. if you made it this far, you were probably at least semi-interested in this being your career. So I want to chat about it. Because if you're ambitious and you want to decide to work your life to work, you pick the best company in America to do it at. I mean, I don't know about that, but okay. I really don't care to hoard a bunch of money, and I do believe in rewarding people that help the business get to where it needs to be. But before I get to that, let's talk about the future. As I write this, we have 2 teens that will grow in 4, that will go to 4 in the next year, and possibly 8 in the next 2 years. But I can't talk about that because James will kill me, haha. We need more leaders in the company. We need hard workers, obsessive, coachable, intelligent grinders that can set up and take some of the leadership spots over the next 2 years. Every single department has an opportunity for you to grow in, and you're lucky because we don't do yearly reviews. We do whatever the fuck we do whenever the fuck you want reviews. If you want to become a production manager, tell James your intention and ask him why you suck and how you can become better. Okay, that's weirded. That's weirded, or that's worded weirdly. I don't like that. Yoshi, what's wrong? Mommy's almost done. He'll give you a list of things that you need to improve on to prove to, because that's what you need to actually listen and master those things. We will give you a shot at that role. Only problem is most people think they are better than they really are and don't take it seriously when we give them things to improve, and then wonder why they never move up. I mean, the way it's worded, I hate it, but it makes sense. Like, if you want to become a project manager at your software company, your computer programming job, you're gonna want to know what steps you need to take. And if you don't take those steps and you get angry that you're still not a project manager, why are you so Pikachu shock face about it? This isn't a bureaucratic corporate company. You don't have to do something for 5 years to get a promotion. I hate the word promotion. The more responsibility, the risk you help us navigate, the more bullshit you deal with, the more you make. And if you want more of that, we'll gladly help train you to receive it. This is an infinite room for you to grow here. This isn't a stepping stone. This is your final destination. We will win, and we are going to build something amazing. I see a world where the company is worth billions and one day tens of billions. And those of you who help build this will be rewarded. I want the way this is kind of worded, it comes off like, chat, I have an amazing startup. It's gonna be worth billions. If you just dedicate yourself to me for a couple of years, like, it's gonna come back to you in stocks. It's gonna come back to you in so much. So if you just stick around right now, it's gonna be the best company in the world. You gotta trust me, bro. Trust it. It comes off like Silicon Valley, trust me, bro, type of shit. There's infinite room for you to grow. This isn't a stepping stone. This isn't your final destination. We will win, and we are going to build something amazing. And those of you that are going to be rewarded, I want nothing more for you than to go all in, obsessive every day, and become so goddamn valuable at this company I can't operate without you. And in return for becoming so valuable, I hope to give you incredible experiences, a fun place to work, and of course, more money than you can ever dream of making at any other company. Now read this all over again because I guarantee you didn't retain enough. That's it. Well, chat, based off his tone, based off everything you read here, would you work at Mr. Beast's company? Would you work at Mr. Beast Productions? Let's get a poll going for that. Would you work at Mr. Beast Productions? Yes. No. Okay, we'll set it for 10 minutes. Okay, and I'm gonna do the same on this one. Would you work at Mr. Beast Productions? Okay, yes, no, start. There we go. Okay. There we go. Alrighty, chat. Based off everything you read here today, if this was an official document you received. No. I'm not talking about the advice right now. But based off this document, if you received this specific document as like a sort of training material, would you continue work here? Would you work here? Sounds like a stereotypical scam. It kind of does, right? Especially the last part. The last part makes it sound so scammy. Like, if you just dedicate a couple of years to your life at this random startup that no one has ever heard of, you are gonna be paid billions. You just gotta trust, you gotta believe in me, bro. 2 more weeks. Thanks, Anna. Thanks, everyone. Support your local stream chains. Also, camera angles and lighting can affect moods of the scene. Yes, it can. It can. Dang, a lot of you said no. A lot of you guys say no. For me, I probably wouldn't work here just because of the language used is very red flaggish for me. However, a lot of the morals within the company is very, very sound and stuff that you will see in, you know, very much startup companies or, you know, shit like higher up companies and shit like that. It's common themes that people want in just the average Joe, and even in like mom and pop shops. All of these are average themes you're gonna be seeing. But the red flag here is how everything is worded. And as a industry professional, I would be horrified if I knew my CEO sent out something like this. I would be absolutely horrified. Especially when you add something like this to your thing. Never do anything that can make us look bad as a PR perspective. And I know what you guys are thinking. This was sent internally. Even if things are sent internally, you need to have the expectation that they'll get leaked one day. That's just the world we live in. You need to have the expectation that one day the public is going to see a document like this. It's going to see this document. And the best way you can prepare for someone to read a document like this is to have it worded properly. Have a professional, like, corporate speak person. That's an actual job. Typewriters and writers will go to a CEO. A CEO wants to put out a memo, but let's say they're not the best at articulating their words, and they're definitely a lot more harsh. They literally hire a writer to write. They write down the idea, what they want to portray. They clean it up for them, and then they send it out. I had that done multiple times for myself. I had it done multiple times for myself. I was horrible at that when I started my job. The entire document is absolute mess. If it isn't cleaned up, why would I trust you to hire me? Exactly. That's how I see it. You didn't have the attention to get a proofreader, so I can imagine that the company would run. Exactly. Code for me as I'll pay you when it sells millions. Many such cases. So true, 𝗠𝗏. So true. He does write his own speeches. I mean, there's nothing wrong with writing, because like this would be a great YouTube video. This is great content material. I turned it into content. But he's not good at professional speak. And it's such a red flag that he is okay at sending something out, something like this. Now, that doesn't mean what he says in here is bad. There are there's two or three specific moments. 2 or 3, 4 or 5 little moments in here where he's like, oh, where I'm like, okay, that's really, really bad. Or like the no means no. That was the worst part about it. All these little rapid fire bits right here. Lots of repeating of things. Bad formatting. This really bucked me out of everything. But there's lots of good points he made in here. A lot of good things that can be applied to VTubing and to streaming and content creation. And I feel like it's one of those documents that is so worth reading. Even if you're not a big VTuber or YouTuber, there's a lot of lessons that you can learn. If you could just put aside whatever fucking hate boner and consume this document, you can find a lot of helpful advice in here. A lot of different perspective. And I think it's worth for VTubers to take a read. This probably makes a good example on it makes a good example of what not to write and how to say certain things. Because, sorry, the he writes his own speeches was a reference to Senator Armstrong from Metal Gear Rising, the bad guy who talked about making America great again before Trump. Oh, I haven't played Metal Gear Rising. I'm sorry, I didn't get it initially. I think overall it's a good document though. It has good stuff in it, good things that content creators and VTubers can learn and apply. But it's just so poorly worded. And it's so bad that like no one can take his point seriously. Like I was able to transcribe everything because I also have autism, where if I'm not careful with how I say things, it's gonna come out completely bad. And this is a perfect example of that. Good ideas, bad vibes, good work ethic, and good expectations of what he has, but it's just so badly worded. I get what you're saying, it's good, but the way you word it sounds bad. Exactly. Exactly. Also too long, make it shorter. Yeah, a lot of this is repeating. A lot of this could be said with one sentence. These graphics could have been made a lot nicer. I kind of want to just go through and like proofread everything now. Like actually change up and fix it to make it sound very nice for someone. It's badly worded on purpose to make it seem more genuine. There's a thing as being a good genuine and a bad genuine. Being a good genuine means like, you know, kind of like what I do. Like I'm genuine on here. But I'm not also gonna spout out every single bad opinion I have or every single moment of my life and try to like constantly say dumb shit. Like you gotta know when to say shit and how to say shit. That's when it's genuine. When you're, this is what the kids are saying recently. When you're demure. When you're mindful. Being mindful can equally be as genuine. He was not mindful. He was not demure, as the kids say nowadays. There's being genuine, there's being and there's professional. And this should be professional. This should have been professional. I agree. Because seeing the side of him can easily change people's perspective on him, especially because, like he said earlier, that you can't tell what kind of tone he has while writing this. You can't tell his body language. You can't tell the tone. So it's so easy when you write something like this, they could be so misinterpreted badly. People will think you're an asshole. And that's my hot take. That's the hot take, sis. Alrighty. Looks like the results are in chat. A couple more seconds, I think. This fucking thing fucks fucking because it's fucking cool. That sounds like me. I do agree it's okay that you use a fucking this and that has some more informational and casual language. This could have been a nice balance of both. But again, he didn't have anyone proofread this. He didn't have like a professional writer help him with this. And you need to assume that every document you ever send to an employee or every document you ever make is gonna one day get leaked. And you might as well make it sound as neutral and professional as possible, so that way nothing gets taken out of context and no bad PR, happens. I think he forgets how text can be interpreted. We all do. We all forget it. Alrighty, voting's over. Looks like No is the winner. None of y'all will work. I wouldn't work for Mr. Beast's company. This is a huge fucking red flag. If I got sent this, I would run. I mentioned festivals to my brother once. He apparently tried them before. He thought they weren't bad, just really sweet, better than Hershey's at least. I'd rather a Hershey's bar. I rather Hershey's bar. Live pro to get fluid in legalese. Yeah, get fluid in legalese, chat. It's so helpful. If you're ever gonna be a content creator, a VTuber, streamer, get fluid in legalese. Get fluid in corporatese. It helps so much. That's why I'm able to survive. That's why I'm still around. I learned from my mistakes, and I'm like, okay, I gotta corporatize or legalize how I say things, but still also bring across my genuine message. It's such a balance that you need to learn for yourself. Alrighty. Well, that's today's stream. I'm glad we went over this. Actually, I thought this was so fun because I was able to be like genuinely autistic with like my more businessy professional corpo side. So I kind of integrated some work in today. And I hope you like this side of me where I'm a little more professional. I don't show this side that often because I mean you guys usually like very silly, funny haha Nyaru. But again, I'm glad I can show this side to you guys every now and then. This is a good stream. This is an enlightening stream. This is an informative stream. Thank you guys. I really enjoyed it. Lots interesting to hear. Thank you. This is a great stream. Thank you guys. Thank you. You are multifaceted idol. I am multifaceted. I am. A little bit boring for the average viewer, but honestly, I had fun doing it. It's one of those genuine things I really love doing. And like I said, eventually, the genuineness of me enjoying what I'm doing right now is gonna rub off on a lot of people, and it impresses people. And today is a great example of that. Yeah. It's okay to drop a swear word here and there, but keep it professional still. I still remember talking to some teacher who had been a CEO of some company for good for years. He dropped some swear words here and there. It's okay to drop swear words, but never drop it in a professional environment. Streams, okay. Videos, okay. But the moment you're meeting with like other professionals, or you know you're making an official document regarding something, legal document, it's just best to avoid it. Alrighty. Thank you guys so much for tuning in today. Thank you. My voice is fucking destroyed. I'm gonna probably take it easy, not talk for the rest of my day, honestly. I'm gonna go. I actually did not eat too well today, so I'm gonna go make me a little steak and a bagel. I'm gonna have myself a steak bagel sandwich. Yeah, I'm gonna go get myself a steak bagel sandwich. Yeah. Thank you guys again. Thank you. I'm gonna go ahead and raid y'all into someone. I'm not too sure who, but we'll go say hi to someone, because why the heck not we go say hi to someone? It's always fun to go say hi to someone. Isn't that right, chat? Isn't that right? We go say hi to someone? Yeah. You also that was in here earlier, so we'll go raid her. We'll go raid you. Oh, she's playing Magic the Gathering, the online TCG. I gotta play that soon. Okay, so on Twitch, we're gonna go say hello to Yozora. I'll start that now. And then on YouTube, you guys can go say hello to Peppikin Peppa, who's playing who's also playing Class of 09 right now. I watched her stream yesterday and it got me all mushy about life because we were having deep conversation. She was having deep conversation towards the end of stream. So go say hi to Peppikin Peppa and Yozora on Twitch. Yeah. Alright, so on Twitch we do a raid message. On YouTube we don't. If you want, you guys should do Nyaru raid. Just let her know that I raided. But for Yozora, we'll do Yozora Love for our raid message. So if you don't have a sub, you can use Yozora Love with the hearts. If you do have a sub, gotta get a sub, whatever it may be. Thank you for the love and support. You can use Yozora Love with the raid emotes, and that's the one I'm going to be using. So please be sure to use that as well. Yeah. Alrighty. I need water, chat. I talked way too much this stream. I yacked for like 3 hours straight. Well, I hope you guys had fun with this. Thank you so much again for tuning in. Thank you. And I will see you guys tomorrow for birthday prep members only stream and body cam media share. Yeah. Alrighty, guys. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Bye bye.